From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is Roz and Mocha.
It's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Mocha. Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow!
You just won $1,000.
That's amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Mariah Carey got her first shot of the COVID-19 vaccine and hit a note while getting it.
Relax for me. Yeah. All right, bro. Okay. Oh, it's only part one. It's only part one.
God, could you imagine you go and get your shot and you people clap? Could you imagine that?
Yeah. All right, bro.
That's a note, huh?
Yeah. Big time.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
Could you ever make that? I could see a ghost right now, and I don't think I'd be able to make that noise.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Hold on. I need to clear my throat.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
let me take a sip of this.
Yeah, take a sip of water. Hold on here. Let me get in on this too. Hold on. Just wait. Okay.
Miller time.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Okay, you go first. You go first.
Hold on. I need to hear this again.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, bro.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. That's Mariah, by the way, getting a COVID shot.
Okay.
Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close.
I sound like one of them.
You're not even in the same world.
Like one of them screaming goats.
Yeah, you do. You sound just like one of them screaming goats.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. One more time.
Okay.
Play Mariah back again now.
Hold on.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, bro.
Okay. Not even close, Maury.
By the way, if you're going to do this as a lamb, you have to put your hand on your ear like she does when she does it.
Okay, Mocha, try that. Try
okay,
putting
hold
your hand on your ear.
Yeah. All right, bro.
Okay, go. Yeah. Not even close. This is what okay. I don't know what it sounds like in your head.
It sounds like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let me tell you how it sounds to everybody else, okay?
Okay.
It sounds like this. Yes, it does.
You guys are wrong.
Okay,
No,
try
hold
one more
on.
time. That's Mariah. This is Mocha.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Maybe two hands on my ears.
Okay, yeah, go. This is Mocha. Okay, this is what we hear. I swear to God, that's all I hear.
No.
Yeah. All right, bro.
Right? Exact. Mariah. It's like Mariah just walked in the room.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I was just watching this guy's absolutely horrifying TikTok story.
Oh, no.
So the guy's name is BPN Johnny.
Okay.
And when I say horrifying, I mean horrifying.
Am I going to be grossed out?
So it's easier if we let him tell the story as opposed to me telling the story. So take a listen and let me know how you feel about this.
So while I was in university, I worked as a bartender at a restaurant by day, nightclub by night establishment. So the chefs would leave us and the night staff food to take home at the end of our shift. For a week, I took home massive containers of this delicious soup. You don't understand. I was eating this soup for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I was obsessed. And then for a couple of days, I got really sick, stomach flu-y stuff, and then I missed work. So the next time I went back into work, there was food left for us, but our manager pulled all of the bartending staff aside and was like, so the chefs have noticed that a lot of hollandaise sauce was going missing. So it turns out I was consuming bowl after bowl after bowl of straight up hollandaise sauce, just mustard and egg yolk for a week. And that's why I got super sick. And then shortly thereafter, I developed a severe intolerance to...
He says eggs at the end. Only hollandaise sauce. Bowl after bowl after bowl
Breakfast,
of
lunch, and dinner.
hollandaise sauce.
That's
Hollandaise,
so
you
gross.
might as well be eating mayonnaise by the bowl. It's very similar, hollandaise sauce and mayonnaise, right? It's
Delicious,
like
though.
raw. It's like raw egg egg whites or egg yolks. I don't even know. Mustard, butter, lemon juice. But you're not supposed to eat it by the bowl. A lot of people say you're not even supposed to eat hollandaise sauce full stop.
Oh, really? Even on top of eggs
even
or whatever?
even on top of an eggs. A lot of people say you're not supposed to eat it, that we shouldn't be eating hollandaise sauce, let alone by the bowl.
You thought it was soup.
Right?
That's so disgusting.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Damn it, Moira, come in here, my love. Bring the paperwork.
Paperwork?
So, Tiger Woods, they determine what was most likely to be the cause of his car accident.
Okay.
And that was that Tiger was doing between 84 and 87 in a 45.
And more than double.
And because he has the black box in his
miles
fancy
per
car.
hour, not kilometers, right?
Because he has a fancy black box in his car. They also determined that when he crashed, his foot was still on the gas, not on the brake.
Oh, no.
Okay, so he was doing 84 in a 45 with his foot on the gas.
And didn't they say, was it earlier this week or late last week? Didn't they say, like the police department said, we have the black box, we have the information, but we're not going to release the information?
So he gave permission.
Until, okay, so he gave permission.
Yeah, he gave permission. So
I guess
was
he had to, right?
He was doing 84 in a 45. Maury, which is hysterical, shows me the paperwork for a ticket that he got the other day.
No.
Maury, how fast were you going in a what? You were doing a what in a what? Not what he reduced it to.
Oh.
You were doing what in a what?
I was doing 80 and a 40.
So you were also going double.
Who knew that it was a 40?
You should have.
There's a stoplight every 100 feet on the road Maury got busted on. Like literally, there's a stoplight every 150 feet.
So is it in this neighborhood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this neighborhood, there are speed signs.
Everywhere.
Every like 2 blocks or so. So on your drive from home to here, you would have passed like at least 15 of those signs.
Who looks at those, though, in his defense?
Okay, either you tell me to look at the road and what's ahead of me, or tell me to look at the signs.
Well, the
one
sign
is it?
isn't that far away from, like you'd be able to see, if you're paying attention, you will clearly
I'm
see
paying
those
attention
signs.
to make sure I'm not hitting anyone in front of me.
So he knocked your ticket down to what? He said you were doing what, 50?
He said I was doing 50 and a 40.
Right. And so what would the ticket have been? Do you know how much would it cost you?
Oh, he said it would have been around 402 demerits.
Right.
Wow. Wait, sorry, $400 and 2 demerits or 402 demerits?
$400 and 2 demerits.
I was going to say, they would increase those demerits for you.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot. I know. It's crazy, right? It's crazy.
We're
But he
inventing
knocked
demerits.
it down, though. He knocked it down. So
That's nice, though.
So Maury's lucky. I drove by. I left the station here yesterday, right at the exact same time Maury did. First of all, Maury walked in the parking lot and forgot where he parked his car and was doing that thing like Mr. Bean where he's just walking around the circus looking for it.
No.
In a parking lot that only had 5 cars in it. Right? It was something to see. I've never seen somebody drive out of an underground parking garage the way Maury did. After every single stop and start where you have to turn to try and weave in between these tiny little canyons to get out of here, his wheels are squealing.
I know.
Like squealing. And then I drove behind Maury all the way down that same road that he got that ticket on the other day.
Yeah.
And I was nervous for him driving behind you. Like I was nervous that something bad was going to happen just watching him drive.
I saw Dammit Maury one time almost get into an accident with a transport truck.
Right.
Because you weren't paying attention.
I don't remember that.
Right, because you weren't looking.
Yeah, you weren't looking.
Right.
I was watching.
What's your plan? How much is the ticket now?
The ticket's 40, but unfortunately I can't pay it yet.
So let me show you.
$40?
Yes.
The ticket's $40. Maury sent me
that's
this
great,
morning.
though.
So Maury got a $40 speeding ticket yesterday.
Yeah.
And then Maury sent me this from this morning, which is just a screen grab from his email today. And it just reads, Amazon.ca, your payment has been declined. The next message down, Amazon.ca, your payment has been declined. The next message down, Amazon.ca, your payment has been declined. The next message down, Amazon.ca, your payment has been declined.
No! Damn it, Maury!
So Officer Lithgow is going to have to wait.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Did you see the story where Iggy Azalea released all these DMs from people with verified accounts who
Doing what?
slide into her DMs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she scratches out their picture.
Yeah.
Scratches out their name, but you
Okay.
see the check mark and how many followers they have.
Oh, okay.
So one follower with verified account with 12 million followers.
Yeah.
DM'd Iggy Azalea saying, "You my dream baby." Somebody else said, "I want to." That person.
What?
That person had 27 million followers.
Really?
Okay.
So she's not releasing names, though.
She's not releasing names. Somebody else wrote this. "Can I marry you? I'll protect you better than Playboy Cardi. I'll play that side N-word stepdaddy role. I'll play toe therapist, whatever role you want me to play."
What?
Okay.
It's one of the guys from Migos for sure.
You think so? You think?
I don't know. I'm just making that up.
Okay. Somebody with 15 million followers offered her $15,000 to just talk with her or have a conversation. He was begging.
Right.
Begging.
Yeah, right.
Begging.
You got to do more than talk.
Okay. Some other verified account with 6.2 million followers said, "You need a Pooh Bear and I'll like a jar of honey."
What?
Yes. Okay.
These are the DMs Iggy Azalea's getting?
These are the DMs Iggy Azalea gets. But the thing is, these are all verified accounts with people like 30 million followers.
Yeah.
Like, who are they? Like, we know who these people are that are writing Iggy Azalea.
Athletes. I bet you they're athletes.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think they're athletes, huh?
Basketball, football players?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah.
Anyway, so she said that she will never, then people, like a lot of people want to protect her and a lot of people want to like take care of her child with her.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like all of this stuff. But so somebody wrote her, "Hey, don't be shy, show us who they are." And then Iggy Azalea wrote back and said, "They know who they are. And this is as mean as I'm going to be." So, yeah.
To what? Like deter people from sliding into the DMs, I guess?
guess.
She'd probably get like super annoyed.
I guess. And
by
then
this
somebody
now.
else was like, "Do you usually block them after this?" And she goes, "No, I just ignore them."
Oh.
which as we know hurts even more, right? Hurts even more.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
So they found Shawn Mendes' G-Wagon.
Oh, yeah?
Remember last week when his house got broken into?
Yes.
He and Camila Cabello were at home.
Yes.
And the person realized that they were at home and swiped the keys to the G-Wagon.
And off they went.
And bounced. And then they found the car in Beverly Hills.
They found the guys?
They didn't find the people who took the car, but they found the vehicle.
Yeah.
And it was like totally fine. Like it wasn't ransacked. It wasn't damaged.
Right.
Nothing. It was just like parked in a neighborhood.
Who found it? That same woman that found Gaga's dogs?
No, it's just like the police ended up finding it.
God, that's an expensive car. I don't know if I could. Could you ever comfortably drive a car that somebody stole from your driveway and had it for like a week? Could you ever comfortably?
I think I could.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could.
Like just wondering what
happened in
was
there?
happening in that car.
Yeah.
During
Soup
the
kitchen.
time. During the time that it wasn't in your possession.
You know what I mean? Soup kitchen.
see.
That's all I'm saying. I don't know if I could.
They were like joyriding and
Nah.
like picked up a couple of skeezers.
Nah,
and,
I
like,
don't know. I couldn't.
Whatever.
One idea. It's a total violation, right? Like I would just feel weird.
Yeah.
And two, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing in there. What did you pick and where did you wipe it? I don't know what kind of animal you
imagine?
are. Yeah. I don't know. Like I take real good care of my things, but
Like
you know,
I'd have to
what
get the
did
car
you do?
detailed for sure.
Ugh.
I've had my car broken into
I'd
a couple
sell
of
it.
times.
I'd sell it.
Like they never like stole the car, but like they stole stuff from inside the car.
Yeah.
Like I never, but I
Or like
still.
maybe they just, or like maybe I'd be so worried. Like, did they steal it to install a microphone in it somewhere or something like
True.
that? Or
Yeah.
like, what did they do?
How many
Right?
times did they fart in my seat?
Yeah,
in
like
my driver's seat.
yeah, like were they dressing up like me and doing stuff with people who aren't Camilla? You know, like who knows what they were doing?
Like in the driver's seat or just
like
anywhere in the car?
in the car.
Yeah.
Rubbing their things on other things. I don't know. I couldn't. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could redrive a
would you
stolen
just sell
car.
it- sell
I
the
would
car
sell
right
it.
away?
Yeah,
Yeah?
Like if I'm Shawn Mendes, 100% I'm selling it. I'm just
Yeah.
going to get a new one at that point. It's ruined. I can never be comfortable in it. Never. Never.
Picking stuff and
Never.
wiping it on.
Oh, God.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
My knee's sore. My cat scratched it this morning.
Your knee?
My knee, yeah. When
Left
I
or
sit
right?
my right. When I sit on the toilet. First of all, okay, so when we run out of dry food,
Uh-huh.
right, and they only have wet food, they turn into crackheads.
Okay.
Okay.
Why? The
And
wet stuff's like full of all
they,
the...
No, they like the wet, but they like both. They like
Okay.
a little bit of wet in one bowl, a little bit of dry in the other bowl.
You don't just mix them in one bowl?
No.
Oh.
That does not work for these guys.
Okay.
But when we run out of one of them,
Yeah.
they turn into crackheads.
Really?
Right? So I'm in the bathroom. The one cat breaks in, opens the door. And it's like the look, like their eyes are completely like dilated. And they start making noises that they don't make. And it's like they're looking at you going, you got that dry food? You got that dry food? Come on, man, you got that dry food?
Yeah.
And then he'll just like lean up on me and scratch me, like dig his nails into my bare knee because I'm nude. Right? And that, what, Maury?
Good thing it's only your knee.
Maury, the only thing Maury heard was because I'm nude.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway.
Yeah. Maury's
Okay.
making a note of the time.
Yeah.
So, you can,
Yes.
so you can send you a text tomorrow morning. You up? Send nudes. I know you're up. Send nudes.
It's like my cat. You got dry food? You got that dry food, man? Come on, man. And then so one cat breaks in, and then the other two just wait outside, and then one
Outside the
leaves
bathroom?
outside the bathroom. They just sit by the
Plan it
door.
all out, huh?
Oh my God, they have a whole system, right?
You go in first.
You go in first. Okay, you go in first, do the
Yeah.
thing, hurt him if you need to.
Yeah.
But whatever you do, come out of that bathroom with dry food,
Sure.
right? And then so I don't have any dry food, and then at this point I start talking to the cats, right? I'm like, I have to go to work.
Yeah.
On my way home. On my way, on my way home.
I promise. Wow, these cats run your life, huh?
Oh my God, they run my life. And then
So,
if we
what
have
happened-
dry food and then no wet food, it's I sit in the bathroom naked in the morning. One of them breaks in and then he looks at me with the dilated pupils and just goes, "You got that wet food, right?" Like,
So
it's
what did you
just,
do
it
before
doesn't
you
matter.
left?
No, I just
What'd you
left
leave
them. They had wet food. They got food. They have food. They just don't have dry food. So anyway, my knee's sore. which isn't good because it's like I don't know I don't know, it's like it was a deep one.
Yeah?
You don't have a cat, right?
No.
You ever been scratched by a cat?
Never.
Like, you ever had a cat just like dig their claw into you? No, because it goes in like a needle, right?
Never.
Like they'll
I've
just
had the dog
Yeah.
get too excited and
Yeah.
jump up and like scratch my arm.
Right,
But it's
right,
never
right.
like it doesn't like break the skin.
No. This is like they're like
Little knives.
like it's needles, right? Like they just like stick it. I can feel it going like in my skin,
Yeah.
right? Like
Ugh.
I'm suddenly the one with the needle problem, with the drug problem, and not them. But no, so my knee's sore, but I got to put polysporin and stuff like that on it. Otherwise, Catherine goes crazy. It gets all swelly and everything else. Yeah, it's
And then
not
she'll
good.
be like, "I told you so."
Yeah, she'll be like, yeah. And then somehow it's my fault that we don't have dry food,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's fine. I will, deal with it. But I'm reasoning with cats this morning. That was my whole morning this morning. I did nothing else.
Wow.
I did nothing else other than try and reason with my cats.
Well,
And not one of them ever looked at me and went, "Dude, put some clothes on or something," right?
Just give me that food.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
There's an auction that took place recently, video game auction, and a copy of Super Mario Brothers sold for a record number,
Why?
record price.
Why this one?
I'm not going to tell you the price yet. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
And then I want you to take a guess as to how much you think this sold for, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So it was originally purchased in 1986 as a Christmas gift, the year that the game came out.
Okay.
And the unidentified seller said, "It stayed in the bottom of my office desk this whole time since the day I bought it. I never thought anything about it." So still in its original packaging,
Okay.
purchased the year it was released. Before I get you to guess, let me give you another bit of info. It is also one of the earliest copies of the game to be shrink wrapped instead of having a sticker seal. This is according to the auction company. This particular version of the game first went on sale in 86, but Nintendo changed the packaging in early 1987, so only a relatively small number were sold. Okay?
Is it it's Super Mario, right? Is that what
Original
it is?
Super Mario
Original
Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers.
For original Nintendo.
Okay.
Original wrapping.
And-
has
and rare
never been
wrapping.
used.
Rare wrapping.
Completely rare.
That changes everything.
Yes. So now that you have all the information, how much did this one copy of Super Mario Brothers sell for?
See, people
at an
pay
auction?
incredible amounts of money for things. But it varies though. Like this, like it could be $75,000 or it could be $750,000. Like I'm never surprised when these prices get so out of control. But I think that I'm going to go on the higher end, like 500 plus. Simply based on the fact that it was in cellophane and not the sticker packaging.
Yeah.
Like packaging matters, right? Like all of this stuff matters to people.
$660,000.
And you
is how
can't
much this
play
be.
it.
No, you can't at all.
unwrap it. You paid $600,000 for cellophane.
Yeah,
because
pretty much.
that's what made it worth that much.
Yes. This shattered the old record, which was only set last July.
Which was
where
what?
a copy of the game sold for $114,000.
Yeah, cellophane. You paid $500,000 for cellophane.
I have this game, but I opened it.
Yeah, so you have something that is just worthless.
Oh, I know.
Except for your own enjoyment.
No, but I check eBay often for the 3 games that I have.
But why?
Just to see, because I've read a story that people are bored and on eBay buying things. So I'm like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, but those games are so easy to come by right now. Like you can go to EB Games and get one. You can download them now.
Yeah.
Like if you have a Nintendo subscription, you can go and download those games now.
There's no extra value to
Well, I
it.
checked the copy of Faxanadu that I have.
Faxanadu? What is that?
It's a medieval game where you trade your lady in for drinks.
Excuse me? What?
Yeah, you have to.
In 1986 was a weird time, man. It was a weird time. Did that come wrapped in cellophane too, Maury? Sounds like it did.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Roz and Mocha's DM Deep Dive. You wouldn't say that to your mama, so why us?
Oh, yeah. I love the DM Deep Dive, y'all.
So Deepa is here. All of our DMs are open, and Deepa is in charge. And every day we're going to try and get through as many of them as we can.
Yeah, so I've been noticing that people are very, very concerned about your night terrors, and there's a ton of advice that floods in.
Okay.
So the first comment comes from Shar, and she says, "Hey guys, I was listening to your podcast, and Mocha mentioned that he takes melatonin every weeknight.
I do.
And in my experience, taking melatonin, I've had the weirdest dreams whenever I took it." And then Taryn O also commented, "If you take too much melatonin, it will give you nightmares." So Mocha, this could be the reason why you actually have nightmares.
But here's the thing, though. I've been having nightmares and night terrors since before I've been taking melatonin on the regular. It's only been like a few weeks, like maybe three or 4 weeks now that I've been like consistently taking melatonin during the week.
Yeah.
But my night terrors have existed forever.
Have you ever talked to somebody about them?
About my
never,
night terrors?
Yeah. You
No.
ever sat down with a doctor or anything like that? You might.
Why not?
You
I
might
feel like
want
that
to.
might
I
be
don't know.
helpful.
Yeah, because they're all weird. They're not like anything considered, I don't know, they're not like normal dreams. Well, I guess
But that's
maybe
why you should talk to somebody about it, because they're not normal dreams.
Yeah, there's like systems in place to help you with that, man. Okay? Help is available.
I have like scary dreams about monsters and stuff. Yeah, maybe, I guess.
But have you found that when you're taking melatonin, have your dreams intensified, or is it at the same level?
No, I would say it's at the same level of weirdness and scariness.
Okay, now I want to know, what's the scariest dream you've ever had?
Probably the scariest is when I got shot. Yeah,
Oh,
in my dream,
no.
I was in my neighborhood, the neighborhood that I grew up in, and I remember I got shot like in the chest or the stomach area, and I was just like gasping for air.
Oh, no.
And I was laying on the driveway at my parents' place, and I remember like my mom running out and like grabbing me, and I was just like gasping for air. And in the dream, I was trying my best to say something, and I couldn't say it. I couldn't get the words out, and then I woke up.
Oh, no. But do you wake up? Because, typically when you experience an impact in a dream, you like wake up. So you don't wake up?
I didn't wake up when I got shot.
What?
I woke up when I was gasping for air to try to speak.
Okay,
That's
you
when I
need
woke
help.
up.
Yeah, thank you, Deepa.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm on Roz's side for this.
Yeah.
We'll call somebody for you.
I'd say,
Mocha says it with a smile. I'm fine.
you sound it. You sound it. Yeah, you sound great.
Anyway.
Yeah, healthy.
Thanks.
Okay, this next comment comes from Adam. Ross simply reminds me of the grumpy old man, Jay, from Modern Family. How dare he spoil shows?
Closets.
How dare he spoil shows and then blame us for not seeing it? We are busy people,
You're not busier than I am.
Oh my God.
I can what's that guy's name?
Adam.
Adam, I can guarantee you this. You are not busier than I am.
Oh.
Okay? And if I can watch Grey's Anatomy, you can watch Grey's Anatomy. So
There you go,
and
Adam.
It's the following day. I'm not going to get into this ever again on this show. But anyway, I do not remind you of Jay from Modern Family.
That's a great comparison.
It's not a great comparison.
And I love Modern Family, and I've never
not a
made that
great
comparison before.
But it's
But
a
it's
good
fantastic.
comparison.
Yeah.
To Jay.
That's great. That's
No,
a
it's
good.
not
I think it's quite
It really is.
accurate.
Oh,
Yeah,
both of you.
Yeah.
Enough.
Adam is on point with his comment in the DMs.
Yeah.
Enough. Stop encouraging
If
this.
it bothers you so much, you should probably speak to somebody about it.
Oh, that was a good one.
Stop it. Stop it. Next question. Sure.
This comment comes from Karen. I feel like Roz and Mocha should talk about this. So she sent a photo from UberFacts, and it reads, dog owners take more photos of their pet than their significant other, according to a U.S. study. So what are your thoughts on that?
I probably do have more photos on my phone of our dog Tig.
Really?
More than I do of Jenna. Yeah.
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 Is there a reason for that? Like, he just does so many cute things that you can't stop taking photos?
You know what? It started when, because I would be at home with the dog all day when Jenna was at work. Like, I'd get home from work and it's just me and Tig, right? And we'd go to the park, we go for walks, we just hang out all day. So, of course, I'd be like taking a bunch of pictures to send to her at work, right?
Yeah, that's my thing is that I have so many pictures of the cats on my phone, but it's only because I take them because I send them to Catherine.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's when the cats are doing cool stuff, right? I send them to her, but she takes pictures of me a lot. Catherine is like, she takes pictures of me with the cats. Like when I'm doing something cute with the cats, Catherine will take the picture.
Like,
of me.
what is considered cute? Like, what are you doing that's so cute with your cats?
So like this one. I see one of my cats lying on the ground, and then I decide to lie on the ground with the cat, and then he snuggles up to my head, and then I fall asleep.
Aww.
Like Catherine will take my picture.
That's a good photo, especially because we can't see your face.
Right?
Let me see. Oh, wow.
Right?
That's a real cute photo.
That's a really
Right?
cute
Yeah, that's
photo.
really nice.
Yeah, that's just like me. I've fallen asleep on the floor with the cat because if I lie down anywhere, I fall asleep immediately.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I have some sort of condition.
Are you sleeping on the floor there?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a picnic blanket.
Oh, okay. The picture, it looks like you've been murdered.
What?
Like,
That's
you look
just
like a
how
dead
Ross
body
falls
just laying there
asleep.
with your arms like that. Doesn't it look like
It is a cute photo nonetheless,
Okay.
for
it looks
sure.
like a crime scene a
It
little
doesn't
bit.
look like a crime scene. I'm
of
napping with my cat,
I know,
man.
it's very cute.
Right?
It's very cute, but I'm just saying, with the way your arms are positioned, you look like a dead body.
That's maybe why she took the picture, just in case she needed to alert somebody about it.
Okay, anyway, that's the last time I ever share anything cute with either of you.
That's really nice.
Share more.
You've ruined it.
Share more.
No.
Yeah,
No, I'm
every
done.
time I come in now, I want to see a picture of you and your cat.
Yeah, Mocha's not seeing it though.
Our DMs are wide open, so feel free to hit us up if you need help looking for the Roz and Mocha DMs. Just search for Roz and Mocha on Google, and you'll find all of our social channels there. Load up the DMs with your comments and or questions, and we'll do this every single day.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is,
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Hey, Angela, how are you? It's Roz and Mocha.
hi, I'm good, thanks.
Welcome to it. What's going on with you? What's happening in your life?
So I wanted to ask, how can I spice things up with my husband? Because it's been a while.
Oof. Yeah, you wrote this. Roz and Mocha Fix My Life. I got a 7-month-old baby. My husband and I have zero romance right now. We did it once during the entire time since the baby was born. Before that, probably once or twice during the entire pregnancy. I feel like we're two friends who are raising a kid together. How do we rethink our romance, especially during this pandemic when we can't have babysitters come over to the house or go out on a date?
Well, Angela, if it makes you feel any better, you are not alone. And you're not the only person that's ever been through this.
Not me, though.
Okay.
Listen, there are so many wonderful resources from people who have been in your situation. And I think that the most comforting thing that you need to take away from all of this is that this is not specific to you. This is something that most people go through without even having to deal with a pandemic. That this is a normal, very normal transition after you guys have a kid and you're still exhausted and you're just not the people you were. You're like, you look at the kid and you wonder, like, how did that even happen?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, how did that even happen with the amount of times that we're, doing it? And you got to sort of get back to that. But I think that there are tried and true things that are universally agreed upon by people. And one is you has to be a commitment, between the two of you. You both have to acknowledge that this is something that you guys got to get back to. It can't be one person pushing and the other person pushing back. Right? The first thing that has to happen is I think that it has to be a conversation between the two of you. People recommend scheduling it, like throwing it in the Google Doc or whatever it is and sticking to it. I think that one of the other things that I've heard a lot of people do is it starts when you guys aren't even together and it starts with sexting, like going back to that. And, sending pictures and talking dirty to each other, at inappropriate times when you're alone with the kid or he's at work or vice versa, however your dynamic works in your house, like that kind of stuff, like just sort of, getting a little dirty, but it's there's no commitment to it. It's not like something that you even need to sit down and talk about. It's just like something during the day to kind of turn each other on, right?
Have you brought it up with him or has he brought it up with you? Like, what's the conversation like between the two of you?
I guess he brings it up a lot, and I'm kind of dismissive.
So why are you so you're the one that is sort of dismissive and reluctant, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess because my focus right now is just the baby.
Sure.
Right.
And I'm just focused on that, and I'm not really thinking about us right now, and I'm tired.
Yeah, though, that your own sort of, yes, of course, you got to take care of your kid and you got to do all that stuff, and you sound like a great mom, but you will forget to do the things that are important for you and the things that are important to your relationship and your marriage will die a slow death. And you guys will just get into a routine of where this is just no longer part of who you guys are. And everything takes commitment and everything takes your focus, whether it's raising the kid and making sure that they are, happy, safe, and healthy, but you have to make sure that you are as well. And he's got to make sure that he is as well. And you guys got to make sure that you guys as a couple are, motivated to be the people that you want to be to raise this kid. And roommates is not the ideal situation.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it because you don't feel sexy?
Yeah. There's a huge part of that too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Does he think you're sexy?
He does think I am, but I kind of don't believe it.
Why not?
Because I'm kind of the heaviest that I've ever been, and just for some reason in my head, I just think that's not possible. How could he think that I look good when I don't feel it myself?
But maybe he sees something different.
Yeah.
Outside of all that, He sees how you are as a mom. He sees how you are as a wife and how nurturing you are and how loving you are. And, he finds all of that sexy and you're an attractive woman to him. Like, he just wants to be with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that you need to ease up on yourself a little bit.
You just had a baby.
Yeah, I think you got to ease up on yourself a little bit, and you are still very much that. Did you guys have you ever had like a real wild sex life?
Like when we were younger, we were high school sweethearts, so we were on top of each other like all the time when we were younger. But now I think it's kind of fizzled.
But you're still that person. And that's what he finds sexy. Like, he knows, like, when it comes to finding somebody sexy, it's really incredible when you go through the evolution, with another person as a couple, because the thing that you find sexy is just their being. Like, it's not even the physical things that you see. It's this entire person that you are that winds up being sexy. Like, when you're young, sure, you may be into this and you may be into that, but after a while, it's just you as a human, and that presence and that energy you have. Like, that's what's sexy. That's the connection that you want to make. It's not about, it's not about what you look like then or what you look like now. It's just the fact that, you're this thing to him and he is to you, and you've always been that way.
Yeah.
So when he says, hey, you're looking hot, don't get down on yourself. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. It's really hard.
Yeah.
But I think that you need to know who you are to him, and it's more than body changes.
Yeah.
You're a lot more than that.
Yeah. You got this, girl.
Oh, thanks.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that does help a lot.
Okay. And then tell him to give him a "you up, send nudes" text.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, guys.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
You want to hear a story about how me and this B word fell out? It's kind of long, but it's full of suspense.
This is the Zola thread from, I don't know, how many years ago was this now?
6 years,
6
man.
years ago.
Yes.
And how many tweets was this thread?
It was 148.
And it was the wildest story nobody thought it was real, first of all,
No.
that this girl Zola tweeted this insane story about going to Florida and like murder and drugs and pimps and everything else. And it was turned into a movie. And you sort of knew as you were reading it that somebody was going to capitalize this and turn the Zola thread into a movie, because it was the most bonkers story anybody had ever read.
The movie's been making its way around all the film festivals. It's slated to come out at the end of June. Azia Wells King, a.k.a. Zola, joins us on the Roz and Mocha Show. What's going on?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing great.
How do you sum this up? For somebody who is unfamiliar with your story, what is the way that you can just casually explain to people what it is we're talking about here without giving too much away, but sort of take us through a little bit of this story and what you went through and how it wound up on Twitter?
Okay. I was a waitress. Obviously, I worked at Hooters. I was 18, 19 at the time. And I was also dancing, exotic dancing, stripping, pole dancing, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I was doing that. And I met a girl who also did the same thing. And that same weekend I met her, she invited me to Florida. She said she danced there frequently and made more money than Detroit, our hometown. And so I went with her. And long story short, the girl was not very honest with me. We did not go to dance. She had a pimp at the time who basically her job was to lure other women to work for him. Right. And I just got caught in that trap. And so I basically wrote about how I maneuvered my way through that unharmed without being abused or raped or, anything. I kind of, mind over matter. So, I maneuvered my way through that situation. And once I came home and I processed it, I then told it to the internet, and they were very entertained.
And it's a wild story. There's a lot to this. This is a wild story.
So you saw the trailer?
Of course.
What were your thoughts?
Well, I've seen the movie a few times, so I think that they showed just enough to not give away a lot of the good stuff.
Oh, really? Okay, then.
But I love the trailer. I love it.
Was this the first sort of movie optioned from a Twitter thread? Because I hadn't heard of that ever happening before until you showed up.
Yeah, it was actually the first Twitter thread as well. But yeah, this is the first Twitter adaptation of a movie, definitely.
Now that you've seen the movie, you said you've seen the movie, Zola, quite a few times. How close to your real life experience that you told all of us 6 years ago through Twitter, how close is the movie to everything that you experienced?
Well, I didn't even tell everything I experienced. So based off of how much I told, I'm going to say Janixa put in a good 80%.
Really, huh?
So you didn't even tell a little bit of what you didn't tell us to the people making the movie for it to be in the movie.
She did. She did put a little bit that I didn't tell you guys in the movie. She did.
And there's some real great fan service too, because there's moments in the trailer where the dialogue is pulled directly from your tweets. That has to be weird to hear somebody saying sort of your words, right?
Yeah, it was. And that was kind of one of my things when I watched the movie, because they do, I don't want to give away too much, but they do use a lot of the tweets. And so every time she said something that I said verbatim, I was like, is that how I would have said that? No, I think Taylor did good. She nailed it. She's like my soul sister.
Going back 6 years now to the Twitter thread, the Zola Twitter thread, where you told your entire story, or as much as you would reveal to everybody. And it went viral. How soon after that did people reach out to you saying, we want to get the rights to this for either a TV show or a movie or a book or anything like that?
Before the story was even done, before I had even tweeted the thread in its entirety, my phone, I don't know how people got my number, but my phone and my email was ringing like, before you even finish this, like, we need to talk.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, well, okay. So I called my mom in the middle of everything. And I was like, should I keep going? Like, people are calling and emailing me. And she's like, yeah, finish it. Go ahead. Keep going. I'm like, okay. We'll hold that thought.
Did your mom know the story before you posted it on Twitter, or did she find out about it like when we all did?
Of course she did. My mom knew as soon as I got home from the airport because I was distraught.
Yeah.
So yeah, she knew.
So you've seen it twice. Is it a little Spring Breakers? Is it a little what is it sort of like? What's the vibe of the film?
The vibe is Spring Breakers times 10.
Oh God. Oh God, no. Oh.
You weren't expecting her to say
times
10. Spring Breakers meets Janexa Bravo, Spring Breakers,
Oh, Zola, no, not times 10. I can't process that.
Based on what you told on Twitter and seeing the movie and being involved in the making of the movie, are you happy with it? Are you happy with what we are all going to get to experience collectively?
I am happy with it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have, there's nothing I could have done any different, I think. So I'm very, very happy.
And for anybody else who is a storyteller and they have a little bit of a following or a great story to tell, did you get paid for this? Like, did they pay you out? You doing okay?
I am. I have a contract, so they didn't pay me out. I'm a part of the whole process.
You are,
I'll be here the whole time.
Okay, that's great, because that's what people worry about, right? Is that, you put something out there and it's so easy for somebody to just take what you wrote, change it a tiny little bit, and then say, no, we didn't get that from you.
Absolutely.
But no, that's good to know. Good to know. Congratulations on that.
This is a story that can't there's no way how you twist the story. You can't in any way alter it and not know that this is a story of Zola, right?
I know.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. The Zola Twitter thread is now a movie dropping on June 30th. Zola, the real Zola. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day to join us on the Roz and Mocha Show.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Right on. You got it.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I don't know if you saw this story, man. Let me read you this. I'm going to read as much of this word for word as I can because it's unbelievable.
Okay.
So a Chinese woman was attending her son's wedding.
Okay.
When she was at the wedding, she identified the bride as her long-lost daughter.
The woman.
The mother of the groom. A woman was at her son's wedding.
Oh, my God. So her other kid was the bride?
Yes.
The brother and sister?
Yes. So she was at...
How did they not know?
Okay, so she spotted a birthmark on the bride's hand and then approached the bride's parents and asked if she had been adopted 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The bride's family, they say, was baffled by the question because, as it turns out, yes, she was right, and it was a secret. However, they went on to reveal that they had actually found the baby girl on a roadside several years ago, and then they brought her up as their own daughter, and nobody knew. After hearing this story, of course, everybody became emotional. The bride burst into tears, and she wanted to know more about her biological parents. And she described that moment of meeting her biological mother as, quote, happier than my wedding day itself. But here's the thing. The wedding happened.
No, it couldn't.
Because...
The brother and sister got married?
Because...
Don't tell me because they were in love.
No, when the baby went missing...
Yeah.
Left on the side of the road, who knows what happened.
Yeah.
The biological mother looked forever to try and find her.
Okay.
Couldn't find her.
Yes.
Then adopted a baby boy. The baby boy.
Oh, so
the baby boy then grew up, met his mother's biological daughter, fell in love and got married. So they wound up getting married because, yes, technically, they are sort of brother and sister, but they're not actually biological brother and sister. So the wedding was allowed to take place.
Oh, my God.
Maury, get my checkbook and find me how to call China because I need to buy the story.
Story.
Right? Can you believe that?
Well, now I don't have to watch the movie.
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Apparently, Mocha, all your dreams have come true.
With?
Tyler Perry may be doing a prequel to Medea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yes.
No cap.
Yeah.
I have never seen a Medea movie.
Me neither.
What? I'm looking up. I've never
seen a Medea movie.
Never seen a Medea movie.
Never seen a Medea movie.
Shem.
What's wrong with you guys?
Oh, what's wrong with me? Because
me?
I choose to spend my life Medea free, and I'm the one with the problem?
Do you know how good those movies are?
You know, I don't.
Okay.
I actually
No,
don't.
I don't.
And I know every single time a Medea movie comes out in theaters, it shoots straight to number one.
Yeah.
And makes like millions upon millions of dollars.
Right.
And Tyler Perry has built his entire life, his entire career, his entire bank account on all these Medea movies. And I have yet to see a single one.
You guys will spend 4 hours on a Justice League movie that you admit is a waste of time.
Yeah.
So you will not spend an hour and 5 minutes on a beautiful.
That's a short ass movie, dog.
Listen. I've been wrong before, right? I've judged books by their cover and have been wrong, right?
Yes.
But I look at Medea the same way I used to look at Guy Fieri, right? My life is fine without him in it.
You with that hair?
Right? Yeah. My life is fine. I don't need to spend a lot of time getting involved in
flame
that.
shirts
No.
that he wears?
But I was wrong about him. He's actually a great guy. Maybe I'll get into Medea. Anyway, so
Wait, so they're doing what?
a
They're making
prequel.
Are you interested in that, Shem?
Hell yes.
Okay, there we go. He said that it'll be when she moved to Atlanta in 1972. When she set the city and the world on fire. I guess that's going to be the plot to the long-awaited Medea prequel.
Sounds lit.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Roz and Mocha's DM Deep Dive. I regret this already.
Welcome back, Deeper Prashad. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
We're doing good. So the DMs have been blowing up, and the DMs have been going wild.
Yes.
And there is quite the wide range of conversation that takes place. It's so surprising.
It's like a scale of 1 to 10 on the scale of randomness. When I'm going through, I'm like, what goes through people's mind when they're like texting or like DMing us? So, okay, so the first one, anonymous. You always know these are good. You know
we
these
always
are good.
say, stop leaving anonymous. Like, leave your name. Come on now.
I know. I really want to know who these people are. So the comment is, pre-COVID, I wanted to eat out with Dammit Maury, work out with Mocha, and make out with Roz.
Excuse
but
me.
post-COVID, I'd keep the first two and settle for a wink from the smooth,
cool
dude.
I want to make out with you anyway.
Is it because they're anonymous?
Yeah, geez. Thanks, I guess.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I guess it's a compliment.
I don't know how else to take that. So they wanted to what? They wanted to eat out with Maury,
Yes.
right? Work out with Mocha and make out with me, correct?
Yes, make out with you.
That was pre-COVID.
That's pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's a different time then.
But like now I'm confused post-COVID. Like why is it changed? Why can't the makeout still happen? Like that's what I'm curious to know about.
Well, I think people just are trying to be safe, and maybe I look unsafe.
All your unsafe droplets.
What's that, Maury?
Also get in line.
Also get in line, yes. That's why. Why do you think Maury's working out so hard?
Oh my gosh, but I'm kind of curious. What's your workout routine like? Because there's a lot of people who
Mocha.
actually say they want to work out with you.
Oh, God. Well, right now, we have a Peloton at home.
Oh, sick!
So right now, it's a lot of cardio. It's a lot of biking.
Yeah.
And then from time to time, I will do like weight stuff. I'll do like 30 minutes of strength training.
How do you like the Peloton? Is it actually motivating? Because
It really is. I love it.
Yeah.
I use it all the time.
And is it worth? Because it's expensive, right?
It is.
How much, what do you mean it's expensive? Like the exocycle itself is expensive?
Yeah, it's like $3,000.
Plus, don't you have to pay a monthly membership
Yeah,
to use it?
$55. But if you're using it, like I use it every day. We're using it every day. And it's
Fair.
more than just the bike. Like I do my strength training through the Peloton app. I use the meditation portion through the app. I do like the body weight workout stuff through the app. So I'm using the program, the Peloton program outside of the bike. I'm using all aspects of the program every single day. So I see value in using
But
it.
do you
right?
remember when you could do all those things and not have to pay $50 a month? You worked out for years without
I
paying.
know, but I would have to pay more than that in gym memberships
No,
to
you
go
just-
and use all the equipment.
Have you heard of Fit for Less?
No, yeah, you just
$20 a month.
you get a couple dumbbells at home, right?
Yeah, I have dumbbells at home now.
Yeah, but you know, but what I'm saying is, do you remember when you could do that at home and
Absolutely.
not pay? And now we're convinced that we need to pay $50 a month to
I
work out
have
at home.
always been this way, pre everything. I've always been the type where I need someone to kind of either show me or tell me or
Motivate
demonstrate
you
or
do,
help
huh?
motivate me or
Yeah.
show me what I'm doing right versus
Huh.
wrong. And that's just been in my mind.
Is it
which
live
is-
people that you're talking to, or is it all on tape?
You are, so they have classes where they're on demand classes.
Okay.
And then they have live classes that you could participate in where the instructor, if they see your name up on the board there,
Yeah.
right, on the display, they may shout you out. You can't talk like back
Can
to
they
them.
see you?
They can't see you. No,
Are you
nobody can
sure
see
they
you.
can't
There's
see
like
Yeah,
a
no, they
camera
can't see
in the
you.
bike
No,
somewhere.
no, no,
You
no,
know it.
100% Deepa.
No, they can't see you.
100%. Catherine would never allow one of those things in the house.
Never.
Catherine would never allow one of those things in the house. She doesn't even like that I can talk into my remote and say what television show I want to
Because
watch.
does she think people are listening
100%.
at all
We have
times?
none of that in the house. We have no smart tech in the house.
Really?
At all. Yeah. She the camera on her computer is disabled.
Yeah.
Everything. Like there's no Siri. I've never used Siri on the phone. It's never even been turned on a phone.
Wow.
There's
Really?
no
Wow.
none of that. She won't allow it at
You
all.
and I are the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Everything is automated.
Really?
All my devices are listening to me.
No.
Yes.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Like when you're lonely at home, you're just talking to your smart tech, asking it
Yeah.
random
Yeah,
questions.
like,
I'll pick up the remote and go, Grey's Anatomy. And Catherine goes,
Oh my gosh.
all right, what else you
See,
got?
even you guys are on opposite ends of the spectrum
Yes,
when it comes to
true.
randomness. Next question comes from Danny. Can you please play Snapped this week?
No.
No.
Why?
Because I hate the game.
Oh, you hate it?
yeah, yes.
Wait, you don't. Have you ever put the bands around
No,
your
I
neck?
don't do that, Deepa. Don't
See?
even go down
so why
that road.
do you hate
Yes,
it? I
exactly.
feel like Mocha is allowed to hate
No,
it.
that's
Every
fine.
single time we play Snap, Deepa, for like 3-4 days after, I have bruises on my neck.
no.
The
Yeah.
last time we played, I had actually no, the last 2 times, I had a raised welt, 2 lines on my neck, and they hurt so much.
Yeah,
So
like hickeys. They
Yeah,
look
I was
like
just
I'm
gonna say,
not-
do people think that like, oh,
Hell
Mocha
yeah,
had a
they do.
wild
I
night?
Hell yeah, they do.
I am not ready to play
Yeah.
Snap. Danny, we love you. If this is the same Danny that listens to the show and messages us all the time, love you, but we will not be playing Snap again this
First time
week
Mocha's
at
ever
all.
said no.
Wow.
It really is.
Mocha
I'm shocked.
crushing
Yes, it is.
dreams,
Yes,
left, right,
it
and
is.
center.
Wow.
It's the first time you've ever said no. You've
Yeah, oh,
never.
there you go.
You've never said no to a game request. Never.
No, I'm not ready yet.
Never.
Yeah, fair
Okay,
enough.
All right.
one more, Deepa.
All right, so this comment comes from Hashi. I've always wanted to let Roz know that he looks like a pretty version of Howard Stern. I listened to the podcast and would love to hear his reaction to this. He kind of looks like him too and has a younger blonde wife.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Oh, the similarities.
You used to work on the Howard Stern show, did you?
Yeah, I did years ago. But we're both tall, and I think that I don't really see anything physical similarities, but I think maybe because we're tall and grumpy. I think that's where people might draw some sort of similarity. But other than that, and having a younger hot wife, sure, we're identical.
Where did that comment come from?
Hashi.
All right. Thank you very much, Hashi. Thank you to everyone for submitting your DMs. Get into our DMs. Just search for Roz and Mocha on Google, and you'll find all of our social platforms and slide into those DMs, and Deepa will read them to us every single day.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Apparently, there was a huge leak on OnlyFans.
What do you mean?
Like 200, I don't know, what do you call them? Creators? Do they call, like, are they OnlyFans creators? Is that what
Sure.
yeah?
Accounts?
I don't know.
Account holders?
Yeah, but there was a shared Google Drive that was on a sort of low-level, low-tier hacker forum.
Yeah.
And definitely Bella Thorne stuff was in there. We know
Really?
that. Yeah.
Oh.
But there was 200
So what
other-
information is there?
Just pictures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. Like when stuff from OnlyFans leaks and their Google Drive is created, it's like content from their OnlyFans.
Okay, so it's not like their personal information.
No, people would rather have the pics than the phone number. What are you going to do with Bella Thorne's phone number? What are you going to do with Bella Thorne's pictures? Right? People want the pics. They don't want the info.
So
Nobody needs her SIN number.
So Bella Thorne, her photos were all there.
Yeah. Have you ever had a leaked photo? You ever had something like that? You ever had something? No? Somebody
Never.
take something or get into your phone and email them a picture of you or anything like that?
No, at least nothing that's ever come back to bite me in the ass.
No.
So
How
this
about you?
is
No. Come back to me.
Okay.
Maury.
This was the Google Drive was only from October 2020.
Okay. Well,
So who else? Any other names that we would know?
No, there was no other names released.
Oh, it's only
but-
Bella Thorne.
No. It was the 200 people.
275
But listen, you could be a star. You could be the biggest star in the world on OnlyFans, and I will still have no idea who you are.
Sure.
Right? Like I don't know who the stars are. It's just like I don't know who the stars are on TikTok.
Yeah.
Right. I hear their name once, and I'm like, suddenly they got a 3-picture deal with Paramount, and I'm like, really? That's who that person is? Okay, cool. Like I don't know who any of these people are. Have you ever had a picture leak, Maury?
I've leaked my own.
Oh, true. Right.
What?
I did a whole nudie photo shoot.
You did a nudie photo shoot.
Back in but it wasn't like on. It was
like actual pictures,
right?
Like film,
like film. Yeah. Where he had them developed, right?
Oh, wait,
was
was
that
this
the
the one-
Sherlock hat and the martini glass?
Yeah, and we had Scott McGillivray look at them,
right. So it was. And
And
why
you
did
were
you
like bending over on a speaker or something?
holding a martini glass and a cigar.
Yeah,
Weird.
he was the and the funny. This was the back when he was the only fan, right?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh, did you see Charles Barkley over the weekend? So he was doing the NCAA games, and the first thing he did was just like start railing against the NCAA. It was incredible. Like
what?
I don't know, Charles Barkley trends every single week. It's really, really wild. So the first thing he was talking about, because somebody was going off, one of the other panelists was going off on the NCAA rules and everything else. And then Charles just shut it down and he said the NCAA, they're like the Barney Fife of the world. They do an awful job of administrating. We've got guys on tape paying players 3 years ago and they ain't said nothing about it. So he's saying this while covering NCAA games. And then he started talking about race and politics and his feelings, and this is the clip that went viral over the weekend.
Man, I think most white people and black people are great people. I really believe that in my heart. But I think our system is set up where our politicians, whether they're Republicans or Democrats, are designed to make us not like each other so they can keep their grasp of money and power. They divide and conquer. I truly believe in my heart most white people and black people are awesome people. But we're so stupid following our politicians, whether they're Republicans or Democrats. And their only job is, hey, let's make these people not like each other. We don't live in their neighborhoods. We all got money. Let's make the whites and blacks not like each other. Let's make rich people and poor people not like each other. Let's scramble the middle class. I truly believe that in my heart.
What are your thoughts on that?
So, did Charles Barkley covering the NCAA?
Mm-hmm.
Did he go in with all this stuff in his mind already?
It always comes up, yeah.
Like knowing that he's going to talk about
No,
it?
I just think that this is just the stuff he thinks about. Like, I don't think he has any sort of crazy agenda. I just think that this is, because listen, race and everything else in America is just a topic of conversation all the time. Sure. And I just think that Charles Barkley, the reason he trends is because I think that his opinions on things are maybe a little bit unusual for what you're used to hearing. Yeah. And it's wild because he's like, when you listen to it, it's sort of level-headed and he's obviously thought a lot about it and he sees the world the way that he sees the world. But when you say something which is fairly middle of the road, like what Charles Barkley had just said, nothing he said was radical. But when you say something like that, you immediately become a darling for conservatives.
Yeah, I guess
because this is sort of their play. But there was nothing that he said that was overtly controversial or conservative in any way. But it's always taken that way.
Like, I wonder if it's because of the platform. Like, it would have been one thing if he said it on, let's say, CNN or just like any news show, as opposed to covering a major sports event.
Yeah, this is what he does, though. He does this all the time.
Right, but I don't know if when asking Charles Barkley to cover the NCAA, there's so much other news surrounding the excitement of the NCAA, which is completely a different type of excitement from the NBA. Maybe they thought they were going to get something else from him.
Sure, right? But this is, you can go back and say, just talk about sports, but you're not going to get Charles Barkley to just talk about sports.
No.
Like he's Charles Barkley.
Maybe
right?
that's why they asked him to be a part of it, because they know that he's not just going to talk about sports.
Yeah, but it's wild how you can say something that is a sort of middle of the road like that, but you become over the weekend a conservative darling. It's really wild.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
You hear that clip of Morgan Freeman telling everybody to get a shot?
No.
Wear a mask? Yeah.
Really?
Anytime somebody's got something where they need to dad you, and somebody's got a little bit of money, some kind of budget, they always go to Morgan Freeman because people just trust him so much, right?
I'm Morgan Freeman. I'm not a doctor, but I trust science. And I'm told that for some reason people trust me. So here I am to say, I trust science and I got the vaccine. If you trust me, you'll get the vaccine. In math, it's called the distributive property. In people, it's called taking care of one another. Get the vaccine. Help make our world a safe place for us to enjoy ourselves again. Please.
Yo, come on, man.
It's that please at the end. Like, that is Morgan Freeman's please at the end of that is like a please I've never heard him say before.
Help make our world a safe place for us to enjoy ourselves again. Please.
Oh, come on, Morgan. You're breaking my heart, dog. The way he said please, you're right. You are absolutely right.
Please.
Like, he's begging you. Morgan Freeman is begging people.
They always, it's so manipulative too with Morgan Freeman. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, he has played God, right? So they're always able to use that in whatever headline. But they always pair it up with, some sort of sad music behind him, even when he's being sort of jovial. Like at the beginning of that, he's like, people trust me. I don't know why.
I'm Morgan Freeman. I'm not a doctor, but I trust science. And I'm told that for some reason people trust me.
Right? Like, how are you going to not want to get the vaccine?
Right?
Like, I could show up today.
I know.
I'd be like, Morgan sent me.
I know. Anytime anybody has...
both arms. You stick the needle in my butt. Right? I don't care.
Oh.
Morgan said so. Listen, if Morgan Freeman said the only way to get the vaccine is if you get injected in your butt, and he ended it by saying this.
Please.
I'd be like, both cheeks, bro.
I'd be crying. Of course I will, Morgan. Yes.
I'll listen to you.
Hold my belt.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
People are turning on Tiger King.
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
So
You gave us a class. Hold on, before you.
Okay.
They're turning on the guy that gave us an instant classic like this.
Yeah.
Tell all the hunters.
Also, this
lay down their guns.
Clearly not Joe Exotic singing.
Tell them that the tiger.
I know, it's because it's his soul that's singing.
So,
Let 'em run
Joe Exotic still had his sort of fans who feel that he was wronged and they kind of stand by him and all that other stuff.
They were buying his underwear. They were buying his sneakers he dropped a couple weeks ago.
So last night on one of the BBC stations, Louis Theroux, who is a documentary filmmaker, I don't know if you've ever seen any of his stuff. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He did a documentary, an interview back in, I think it was like 2011, maybe 2009, 2011 with Joe Exotic.
Okay.
He was doing a documentary on like people who owned wild pets or something like this. And one of the people he talked to in the documentary was Joe Exotic. And even back then, this whole thing with Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin was still very much at its peak, right? When his level of rage. was at its most extreme. And in 2018, we know that Joe Exotic was convicted of 17 federal charges of animal abuse and 2 counts of attempted murder for hire in a plot to kill Carol Baskin, which he denies.
Right.
So there's 2 clips that Louis Theroux released last night from an interview that he did in like 2009, 2011. The first one is Joe Exotic sitting in his office talking about Carol Baskin and how much people wanted her dead. And he's going online looking at names. And as he's looking at names, he tells the camera crew, to turn their camera off. They don't. And this is what he says.
Okay, but put the camera off. I want to show you how serious this is getting. Okay. People are so fed up with it that this guy right here is a hitman in Tampa, Florida. And he's gotten off of every hit he's ever done. And people are considering it. That's how out of control this is getting.
So he's talking about looking up this hitman in Tampa, Florida. Okay. Then later on, and keep in mind, this was a thing about wild pets, but everything that Joe Exotic did turned into his hatred for Carol Baskin. So this is another part of the interview that was never released before, where Joe Exotic was talking about what if Carol Baskin and her crew came to his zoo to try and shut them down. This is what would happen.
Before they run me out of business, I'll guarantee you these animals aren't going to be the only thing euthanized. You got that on camera. This is still America. We're still allowed to bear arms. And by God, I ain't scared to use it. Anybody that come in here want to disrupt what's going on here, you betcha.
I don't think you really want to put that out there.
I don't really care.
Wow.
Clear enough.
Wow, Joe Exotic.
Right? Yeah. So he aired these clips. These clips have never seen the light of day. And
It's like 10, 11 years now.
Yeah, they aired them last night. So the reaction was like extreme. Right now, people went from wanting to buy Tiger King underwear to like, no, seriously, dude, rot in jail.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Lil Nas X has had quite the past week and a half where every single day his new song, Montero, is being talked about, whether it's the actual song or the music video or just Lil Nas X in general. Every single day. And it paid off because this song got so much attention that it debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Crazy.
His first time debuting at #1. And he tweeted, y'all told a 19-year-old who had just escaped the lowest point of his life that he would never have a hit again. Obviously talking about Old Town Road.
Yeah.
You told him to stop while he's ahead. He could have given up. But 4 multi-platinum songs and 2 #1s later, he's still here. Thank you to my team and to my fans. In a separate tweet, Lil Nas X said, I hope my haters are sad. I hope they're crying. I want your tears to fill my Grammy cup.
Yeah, there you go.
Of course, Old Town Road spent 19 weeks.
Which is crazy.
At #1 on Billboard. And listen to this. Lil Nas X, back in June of 2020, recorded a video of himself to himself in the future.
Okay.
Back then, the video was meant to congratulate his future self on a future #1 song.
Okay.
Which didn't exist back then.
Right.
Obviously, back then, the idea of continuing to make music was still there.
Of course.
But you can't predict if or when a song that you wrote and performed would hit #1.
No.
So in anticipation of all of that, almost a year later, this is what Lil Nas X released.
Hello, Lil Nas X. In the future, the last video I recorded was super sad and the sound quality was so I took it as a sign. Now I'm making this new video. And I want to say I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Yeah. Congratulations. You deserve all the good that's happening to you right now. You deserve all that on God. I'm proud of you pushed through because
This is when it gets weird.
It's been a lot of
Wow.
So that's Lil Nas X almost a year ago recording a video to his future self to congratulate himself on hitting number 1 on the Billboard charts.
Right.
Which he did with the new song Montero.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
John Cena on the Ellen Show today.
Oh, hold on a second. Yes, my guy, John Cena.
John
you know,
Cena's
for the
got-
longest time, real quick, sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt.
no, go ahead.
I hated John Cena.
As a wrestler, right?
With a passion, yeah.
You hated the character?
Because he had that feud with The Rock, and I was just
Right.
like, always like on The Rock's side.
Gotcha,
So for the
gotcha.
longest time.
Yeah.
Did you know, forever ago, before I hated John Cena,
Yeah.
I actually liked him because
Okay, yeah.
I ran into the ring with John Cena at an event once.
Really?
Into a WWE ring, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Doing what?
I was accompanying him. He was a rookie. He was like brand new to the business.
Yeah.
To WWE.
Okay.
And they were holding an event in the city that I lived in prior to here.
Okay.
And they were like, hey, there's this new kid. His name's John Cena. Do you want to run into the ring with him?
Who said this? Like
The WWE.
but you were on like their call list of people.
No, because we were giving away tickets to the event.
Oh, okay.
At the radio station I was at. So
And
I ran into the ring with John Cena.
like into the ring or to the ring?
No, into the ring. I got into the ring, climbed up on a turnbuckle and everything.
No, you did not.
I did.
Who was he fighting? Do you remember? Some jabroni,
some
right?
jabroni, yeah.
yeah. Some jobber who lost, right? Did Cena
Big time.
win?
Of course he did.
Yeah.
He had me in
Wow.
his corner.
Jeez. My
Anyway,
goodness.
So what did you say? He was on Ellen.
He's got 2 big movies coming out. He's got Fast 9. He's got Suicide Squad. But the big story is that he will, and this is like the first time in a very long time, will have nothing to do with WrestleMania this weekend.
And WrestleMania is this weekend. It's going to be the first time that you've missed a WWE. How does that feel to you?
So yeah, this is the first time in a long time I won't be able to be at WrestleMania. And it is bittersweet, but at the same time, I don't consider the entire picture of the industry revolves around me. It is not Planet Cena. It is the WWE. And I know WrestleMania will be a
Can
spectacular
you pause this for one
event.
second? Can you pause this for one
And-
second? What did you wear when you walked into the ring with John Cena?
Oh, just jeans and a tee.
That's all you wore?
Yeah.
You didn't want to do it up? Like you didn't have a costuming or anything like that?
He was wearing, what was he wearing? He was wearing, I believe, Reebok pumps.
Yeah.
And jorts.
Right. And you didn't
didn't match, no.
you didn't?
Uh-uh.
You didn't want to wear the jorts or anything like that?
No.
No? Okay, I'm just curious. Anyway, sorry.
Silly question.
My
is
bad. Okay.
You know, as my time comes to a close, as I'm turning 44 pretty soon, I will still be active, but certainly not as active as I have been in the past. I wish I could be there, but those spots are earned, and I think everyone performing has earned a spot.
Yeah, just like Mocha.
Right.
Right?
I earned that spot in the WWE ring. Come on now.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So the final episode of the Demi Lovato docuseries, I believe, dropped yesterday. And the conversation, she was on TMZ yesterday, and the conversation now is a lot of people who have sort of been through recovery and been through similar things, weighing in on Demi's use of the California sober lifestyle, I guess, where she no longer is doing hard drugs, but she does still smoke weed and drinks. And one of the people who talked about it yesterday was AJ McLean on his podcast. And this is what AJ had to say.
With this quote unquote California sober approach and coming from myself, that doesn't work. And basically what this sounds like to me is someone who's just really not 100% ready to be completely sober. I mean, it's a very dangerous approach. And I'm just shocked after what I've learned about her, the fact that she's had 3 strokes, a heart attack, overdosed, and this is where the path that she wants to take. And look, I respect her wanting to do her thing. I get that. But at the same time, you know, surrounding yourself with people that are yes men and yes women that will just do whatever you ask is not, that's that's not gonna help you really get through this thing.
And it's really looking like that too. I'm questioning the whole docuseries to begin with. I know at the beginning of it, when she looked like she was doing well and was, in full recovery and all this other stuff, I thought it was a great idea because a lot of times stuff like this helps people with recovery.
Sure.
But it's looking like the people that she has in her life now, she got rid of the crack dealers. But the people in her life who you had assumed would be great for her, it's looking more and more like they're not. And so Demi was on TMZ yesterday when Harvey Levin asked her about this California sober.
The conventional way of recovery was invented in the 1930s. So we're talking a program that's almost 100 years old. It has not worked for every single person that has tried it. When I'm feeling like the bottom is falling out from underneath me, I was like, it's just a shame that I don't have something that I could lean in towards in those moments. And I was like, I don't understand why I can't just pick up a joint. I had open, honest conversations about what I was looking for and with my treatment team. And I found that middle path, that kind of gray area with food, and I wanted to find it with substances as well. And I feel like even though I call it a very gray area, it's a very green area. and that is what I'll say about that.
So did she just say that I don't want to do drugs, but in those moments when I really need to do drugs, I'd like to do drugs?
Yeah.
That's pretty much her philosophy, right?
She knows the dangers, right? Because of everything,
not ready.
Everything she's experienced. She still wants to do drugs. She still wants to do things, but she won't ever, I guess for right now, she won't ever go
not ready
to the extreme of what she had that put her in those situations before. And the safest thing, I guess, for her in her mind right now is to be able to smoke weed and maybe drink a little bit, but not in excess of.
There is no little bit, though.
What she
That's the thing,
was doing before.
is that there is no little bit.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't know what little bit for Demi Lovato means. You know what I mean?
It ends with crack, right? That's the sort of deal with it. We've seen this before, and it's real crazy to me that she has now surrounded herself with people that are sort of buying into this, which is somebody who claims to be in recovery but is not actually really in recovery.
Because maybe everybody else
is this not Amy Winehouse to you, where we're all just sitting around watching it happen?
I guess because everybody else, or the people that she's chose to surround herself with, are looking at it maybe the way Demi Lovato looks at it, where it's just weed.
Right. But let me tell you something, okay? Anybody who knows anything about addicts, there's one universal thing that binds all addicts together, and that is they lie.
Mm-hmm.
All addicts lie.
So you think maybe she's doing more?
No, it's you lie about everything. You lie, everything is a half truth, right?
Yeah.
And to me, this just seems like we've seen this before, where we all stand around and trust that somebody knows best.
Yeah, but nobody around
they surround themselves with the people that know best, and then it all goes to hell.
Yeah, but nobody around her is going to step in and say anything right now.
I know.
Right?
It's wild.
Especially since the success of the documentary. She released an album. Right, she's got a couple songs out right now.
It makes
that
me
people
nervous.
are feeling.
The whole thing makes me nervous.
Yeah, I feel you.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Roz and Mocha's DM Deep Dive. Things get weird in 3, 2, 1.
This is always so much fun going through the DMs with Deepa Prashad. Hello.
Hello. Are you guys excited for today's set of DMs?
Yes. Ready. Absolutely ready.
All right. So the first question is from an anonymous person. They say, "Hey Mocha, have you ever seen these try not to react challenges on TikTok? Whenever I hear DJ Climax's dance hall mixes, I can't help but move. So you have that Island Blood too, and I know this would be a struggle. Please do this challenge for social media."
What is it? I don't even know what that is.
I haven't seen it.
Basically, it's like this trend on TikTok. You film yourself listening to music, and you have to literally not react to it. So if they're playing some real old school dance hall or whatever it is, you cannot react. You can't move. You can't dance. No facial expressions.
I'd lose
nothing.
that challenge right away.
Would you?
Yeah.
You're incapable of not dancing, huh?
Absolutely.
Not moving around?
No, I couldn't do it.
Really?
But maybe you should just film it and try to see.
No, I couldn't do it. I tell you right now.
Yeah, you
I'd lose
fail?
that challenge. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Automatically?
What's the one in that genre? What is something that somebody could play right now where your shoulders would immediately just start bopping? What's the name the track? Name the track.
Oh, it would
What?
definitely be anything by Supercat.
Oh, Supercat's really good.
Yeah, anything by Supercat.
Really,
My
huh?
body would just,
Yeah,
Are
forget
you?
about it.
Do you bubble? Do you catch a bubble?
What does that mean?
I have not bubbled in a long
What is bubbling? Hold on a second.
Google
here.
it. Watch a video, Roz.
No, what does that mean, bubbling? What does that mean?
You ever seen?
Is it the butt? Is it the butt?
It's not a word for.
Do you remember
butt,
when on
really.
this show when I found out what pum pum shorts were?
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Roz!
Yeah, man. I had no idea. That's what I love about this show. It has opened me up to so many different cultures, all backgrounds and everything else. It's been an education for me.
I can't believe those words just came out of
We
Roz's
didn't
mouth.
have that. We didn't have that growing up where I grew up.
No, it's just shaking your hips
Yeah.
side to side, making
Oh,
that ass
okay. I
bounce.
got
So,
you.
like,
I got you.
Catch
Okay.
a bubble. Yeah. Next question is from Chris. If Roz had to fill in for DJ Climax for a day, what would he spin?
Oh, there you go.
I would do my best to spin whatever DJ Climax would spin because I think that that's what the audience comes for, and that's what we would have to give them. And
But you
so
wouldn't
I
throw
don't
in like a
know.
track or two of your own, something that you really, really dig.
Yeah.
Something that would make you want to catch a bubble.
Like what's
catch a bubble.
what's on your playlist?
What makes me catch a bubble?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, I can't even say this with a straight face. The last time I caught a bubble was a while ago. Geez, I don't even know. I don't even know. Like, what would I play? I don't know. Like, I like stuff. I like music. Don't think I don't, but I do.
You just can't name anything
Nah,
right now.
I'm fine with music. I'm okay. Like,
general.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Like, I listen to, like, if I go home and I'm listening to music, I will just really just like put on some sort of playlist from Italy or something like that, where
From
I'm
Italy?
or Mexico. I listen to
wow.
like a lot of like just Mexican celebration-y kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I like it. It puts me in a good mood. It's just like around Christmas, I like to listen to reggae.
Yeah.
Right. So I will put reggae mixes on around Christmas because I think it's the happiest sounding music. Where a lot of
Interesting.
Christmas songs, a lot of traditional Christmas songs, I will find every now and then one of them comes on and it's depressing as hell. Right. So I will always just spin reggae at Christmas because it is consistently upbeat.
There was one day over the holidays or right before the holidays where you were talking about playlists and
Yeah.
talking about Hawaiian Christmas music.
Yes. Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So at home, I was curious and I put on some Hawaiian Christmas music. I just found a playlist.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it was so nice.
Yeah, we listen to a lot around the holidays. We listen to a lot of reggae and a lot of Hawaiian sort of Christmas stuff.
Yeah,
and
that's
not
real
even
nice.
not even like reggae like holiday stuff. Just straight up reggae. Like I'll just start with Jimmy Cliff and then just sort of work my way through the entire genre.
Sure.
Right?
Oh, nice.
And that to me is Christmas. Like that's to me what the holidays sound like. Is that it's always a sort of reggae vibe.
Yeah.
In the house. Yeah. So I'd probably do that. I'm a big fan of that.
So when you're listening to that type of music, do you dance?
Am I
Or do you
catching a bubble?
Yeah, are you catching a bubble during Christmas time to some reggae?
No.
Next question comes from Maria. I used to iron my underwear when I was in junior high school. Am I the only one?
Oof.
I
You ever
don't
undid
think
your
I've
drawers? No,
ever.
huh?
No.
No. What, even
Actually,
boxers?
You know what? I
Yeah.
did one time because I wanted to know what it felt like. Let me tell you.
To
It
have
felt-
ironed boxers?
Yeah.
Oh.
Really?
It
Huh?
felt
Did it
nice.
feel different?
No, it felt nice because you iron them and you put them on right away, so it's just warm.
Oh, fair
Oh,
enough.
excuse me.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
And this was from who? Maria?
Maria.
Maria? Like, what kind of drawers is Maria wearing that she can iron?
I have no idea, no details about what type of underwear she wears other than she just ironed it. So
No, I never did.
Because
Never did that.
a lot of panties that I've seen, you wouldn't want to put an iron on them. Like
They
it
would
looks
just
like,
burn, right?
Like,
Yeah,
it looks
most
like
of
they
the
would
time.
just like scorch and burn and not be good.
Yeah.
Right? But maybe she's wearing different drawers, Maria. I don't know. Let us know what kind of drawers you wear, and then we'll answer the ironing question.
oh gosh, I don't want to read those DMs.
Yeah, if you want to in the DMs, let Deepa know what kind of drawers you wear. She's
or
the one
not.
that checks them,
Or
by the
not.
way.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, we have one last question, or
Yes.
this is, I guess, a comment. So when are we getting flying cars? Honestly,
True that.
Flying cars.
Yeah.
Man, we've been promised flying cars since like the black and white TV days.
Yeah. When do we get realistically? When do we get
God.
a
Not for
flying
while.
car?
Who do you think's going to do it? Like Elon Musk?
yeah.
Yeah, it'll be
He'll be
something,
the one.
or it'll be the next Elon Musk, right? It'll be whoever is the next sort of mad genius billionaire. It's going to be one of these Bitcoin guys
Yeah.
that decides to start
Like,
a
what do you
whole
think? Like,
brand
within the next
new
50
new
years?
industry. It's what's going to feed it is that when countries start going sort of carbon zero, right? When, when you start looking at when is the end date where we're going to have gasoline cars. The problem is that cars now, they just make them so much better than they used to. So cars now are lasting forever, right? They're lasting so much longer. So this idea of getting to a point where we no longer need a gas car, it's like just keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed because they just keep making these cars so much better.
Are you in favor of flying cars?
Oh, hell yeah.
Really?
Are you not? Oh, you're not?
No, not
Roz
really.
is giving a look.
No,
No?
not really. No.
Oh, yeah.
no.
I would.
No.
Why? Are you scared of heights?
No. But how high do you drive then? Right? Like, there's too much going on. I can't.
Like air traffic
much
control?
going on.
I'll stay on the roads. You can drive above me.
Yeah.
It's going to take me a little bit longer. I'm fine with that. Right? Okay.
The DMs are wide open. Go find us and get into the DMs. Ask a question. Make a comment. Deepa is here every day, and we're going to go through as many as we can.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Shawn Mendes was on IG yesterday and was singing his version. He did a cover of Peaches, a new song by Justin Bieber. Listen to this.
Yeah, badass chick. Get my life straight from the source, yeah. I get my peaches straight from Georgia, ooh yeah. Get my weed from California, that's that. I took my chick up to the north, yeah, badass chick. Get my life straight from the source, yeah.
Good voice. I mean, nothing to complain about there. It's not the first time Shawn Mendes has ever covered songs by other artists. He did Stay by Rihanna at one time.
All along you was a fever, a cold sweat, hot-headed believer. I threw my hand in the air, said, show me something. You said, if you dare, come a little closer.
So good.
Around and around and around and around we go.
I like it when he does covers, man. I'm into these covers. He also did Love Yourself by Justin Bieber.
Didn't wanna write a song, cause I didn't want anyone thinking I still care, but don't. But you still hit my phone up, and baby, I've been moving on. And I think you should be something I don't wanna.
Getting those notifications.
That maybe you should know that. My mama don't like you, she likes everyone.
Like, I don't know, man. I'd be into a Shawn Mendes cover album if he started doing stuff by other artists that he likes.
But it can't just be Bieber stuff, though. Like, if you're going to do a cover album, you got to really be vast. Like, you have to really open up the genres. Otherwise, it's weird. It almost seems karaoke.
He also did Counting Stars by One Republic.
Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Yeah, we'll be counting stars.
Yeah, it's not good.
bad.
It's good. I missed that song. I forgot about that song entirely.
Counting Stars by One Republic. Yeah. I'm into this, though. This Peaches cover that Mendes did to Justin Bieber. It's good.
Yeah, badass chick. Get my life straight from the source, yeah. I get my peaches straight from Georgia, ooh yeah. Get my weed from California, that's that. I took my chick up to the north, yeah, badass chick. Get my life straight from the source, yeah.
Shawn Mendes, everybody.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
There's a big music anniversary I want to celebrate with you today, Roz. And I know you love this song. And I think you'll be shocked to know that it turns 10 years old today. But the song Super Bass from Nicki Minaj is 10 today from the Pink Friday album. Super Bass hit number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts, which to me is a surprise because that song was just massive and was like everywhere.
Yeah, but what was it up against, though? What else was going on 10 years ago? There's probably some real monsters.
Everybody was out there.
Yeah.
Kanye West had an album out. Taylor Swift had an album out. Like everybody.
There were some real monsters competing, I'm sure.
Super Bass won Best Hip Hop Video at the 2011 MTV VMAs. During Taylor Swift's concert that same year in LA, Taylor Swift on stage starts rapping to the first part of Super Bass by Nicki Minaj, and then partway through surprises the crowd by having Nicki come out on stage and perform the actual song. It is so loud inside of that stadium, you can't even hear Nicki Minaj rap.
That was that tour where Taylor brought out huge stars in every city, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It really was,
yeah.
And then the song was just like massive. It was everywhere. That same year, Kendall Jenner was doing an interview and photo shoot with W Magazine. And one of the questions was, what is your favorite karaoke song? What's the one track that you jam out to? And this is exactly what
This one is for the boys in the booming system. Top
Kendall
down,
Jenner
AC
ended
with
up
the
doing.
booming System. When he come up in the club, he be blazing up. Got stacks on deck like he's saving up. And he ill, he real, he might got it ill. He pop bottles and he got the right kind of bill. He call, he don't, he might sell coke. He always in the air, but he never fly coach. He a mother trip, still on a ship, maybe. I got lost it.
There you go. 10 years ago today,
Wow.
we got Super Bass by Nicki Minaj.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So no Sylvester Stallone in Creed 3.
So is that the deal then?
Yeah, so Michael B. Jordan returning as Adonis Creed. He's also directing Creed 3. November 23rd, 2022 is when the movie is scheduled to be released.
Right.
And fans have been wondering because no announcement about whether or not Stallone was going to be in this third movie. Spoiler alert, he didn't die.
Can't kill Rocky.
Because spoiler alert, in Creed 1, Rocky got cancer.
Oh, yeah. Did he? Yeah, he
right?
did.
Remember he was like real sick
Right.
for a while?
Right.
And then Adonis was like doing push-ups in the hospital room. Spoiler alert.
Right.
And then he was back for Creed 2. And like it ended the way it ended. So Rocky is still like in the Rocky universe, still around. So I don't know if in this third movie, part of the reason why he's not in Creed 3 is because maybe off screen, maybe in storyline, they kill him off.
Oh, right.
Right? That could be a possibility because earlier this week, a fan hit up Stallone on IG and asked if he was coming back. And Stallone replied to that comment and said, "It will be done, but I won't be in it." Meaning the movie will be done, but I won't be in it. That's at least how I took it. And then yesterday, Stallone's rep confirmed to The Hollywood Reporter, yes, in fact, Sylvester Stallone will not be in Creed 3 and didn't give an explanation why.
I think that's kind of bogus.
I think if you're going to have Rocky not be in the movie,
Yeah. I think
the
it's
only
kinda
explanation is that Rocky dies.
Yeah.
And the
But-
only way to do it is to have Rocky in the movie and then he dies.
Yeah, you can't continue on like Rocky's dead. That's not because regardless of how you feel, and I know Creed is its own thing, and I know that they created something special, and the first movie, no, the second one, but the first movie was real good, but this is all because of the Rocky character.
Yeah.
That this is even possible. And I get you want to move forward, all that stuff. But if you're going to kill Rocky, you got to kill Rocky. And you can't build a movie around the fact that, oh, yeah, by the way, Rocky died. You can't do that. I will
feel
not
like-
stand for that.
I feel like
I
there
like
needs
Rocky.
to be an explanation from Michael B. Jordan. I don't think this is a good look.
I like Rocky more than I like most real people.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? I do.
No, that's absolutely fair.
And you can't, I won't stand for that.
I just
I will
feel
not
like
stand for that.
now with this news out there, Michael B. Jordan's going to have some explaining to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because now he's the guy behind the camera. Now he's the one that's calling the shots.
Yeah.
And now he's the one responsible for our favorite character, a
Yeah.
lot of people's favorite
Well,
character, Rocky, not being in this movie.
And let's not forget this Creed franchise is not 2 for 2. They're like
They're
one for two.
Yeah, I agree. The second one wasn't
It's
the
not
best.
good. Wasn't
I do
good.
like the training sequence.
Oh my God, how hard is it to do slow-mo training montage? Right? We've seen that before.
My only issue
Jesus.
with the training montage in Creed 2
Yeah.
My only issue is when they were doing their hardcore training where
Sure.
Rocky drove Adonis out to the desert to train with some like street fighters or whatever.
Sure.
He's in the desert and he's wearing all white.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
His tracksuit.
Yeah.
It's a white hoodie, white pants.
Right.
And I feel that with the training Adonis Creed was doing in the desert,
Right.
that outfit should have been a little bit more dirty.
Right.
Even when he like dropped to his knees and couldn't move on.
Fully agree. But listen, a training montage is hard to screw up. Like, wasn't there a training montage in that Easter Bunny movie? Didn't Hop go through a training montage before he did his thing? Like, it's very easy to do a training montage, okay? We've moved beyond training montages, all right?
No, I live for them, man.
No, we don't.
No, I swear.
We have-
I'm probably the only one that will go back to YouTube and watch both training montages from both Creed movies because they get me so hyped.
If you're going to watch a training montage from Rocky, the only one to watch is from Rocky 3 when Rocky and Apollo are running on the beach in half shirts. Okay.
Didn't you ask to do that once? You and
I did. I've wanted to recreate that. Not now because I'm out of shape. I haven't trimmed down in a real long time. COVID. But yeah, I would like to one day recreate that with you.
Done. It's a date.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Look at the time. I love this part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Take a breath. Sit back.
Still gotta work, though.
Get your learn on. Hey, Mocha.
Yeah.
You ready?
Let's do the news.
A Roz and Mocha Show and Kiss 92.5 News Break.
So here we go. The Ontario Cabinet has approved a province-wide stay-at-home order that will close non-essential retail stores, all but curbside pickup. Sources familiar with the decision said that the stay-at-home order would take effect at 12:01 Thursday, so that would be midnight tonight, right?
So get all your outdoor mall shopping and mucking around done today.
The source said that only grocery stores and pharmacies would be permitted to stay open for customers to shop indoors. Then they said that this time around, big box stores would be restricted to selling only grocery and pharmacy items for in-person shopping. So they're going to be blocking off aisles and this kind of nonsense.
Because I remember the last time.
Garden
didn't
centers
Walmart-
are going to be open, though. they
Walmart
said.
did that, right? Or was that Walmart in the States?
It was
Remember
a Walmart in Winnipeg.
Right.
That did that.
They saran wrapped everything.
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Schools are closed with no notice.
I
So
know.
parents had
That's
to deal
crazy.
with that today.
I know that I feel bad
Found
for
that
the,
out late in the afternoon yesterday.
for the parents for trying to figure that out. Yeah.
That, what are you going to do now? That's sudden. Like, it's sudden.
Yeah.
And you have to, kids haven't been doing sort of at home school for a while. And now the whole thing is, okay, well, we haven't done this in a while. Like, what do you need? Like, what do you need to do school at home? And then all of a sudden,
Wi-Fi
you're like,
connection, I
well,
guess.
no, but you need other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, kids got projects and they got all this stuff. And you're like, okay, well, when are we going to get that? Well, you can't. Everything's closed. Sorry.
I know. Well, numbers keep going up.
I don't know why they're not vaccinating people 24 hours a day. They
Well,
should
can I
have.
tell you how
They
mad-
should have. They should have two lines. Okay, this is the way vaccination should work, you jabronis. Right? Okay, is allow people to sign up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Allow the old people that want to get vaccinated, let them get vaccinated. Okay, and you have these places should be done in places that you can have a capacity for thousands and thousands of people if you want to run them 24 hours a day if you got the shots available. All the old people and everybody who signed up online. Okay. You should be able to just stand there, go in, get your shot as the time that they told you to go in and get your shot. Everything else should work like a rush line, right? Where if I want to stand outside at 4 o'clock in the morning for 2 hours hoping that I get a shot, I should be able to, right? There should be a sign up line and a rush line. 24 hours a day. Roll it. Just roll it.
I think I could be wrong. Love the idea. Think it could work. But I feel that maybe we don't have enough people available to administer the shots because all the people who would normally administer the shots are busy working at the hospitals as well.
Bro, do you know how long it takes somebody to train them to administer a shot?
I don't actually know.
Not long. Not long.
Oh, maybe you can make that recommendation.
There's enough people.
Why can't it just be a machine that you lean into?
Right. Yes, exactly.
No,
Why
I'm
can't
not-
it just be? Why?
I'm not trusting a machine.
Listen, yeah, you just back up into it, you bend over. They give you why
That's
not?
even more dangerous.
Why?
Exactly.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Maury has seen a variation of this technology in most bars that he's been to.
Yes.
Okay? Walk into the room, close the door, turn around, bend over, lean in, get the shot, you're on your own. Right?
You can even leave the lights on.
Yes.
I can't co-sign. I'm not co-signing this one.
Why? We're just
No.
brainstorming here,
Yeah,
man.
no.
Okay,
That
listen.
hard no.
It's a pandemic.
I know everybody's desperate. I saw in the news yesterday that New York, like 16 plus by
Yes,
next
man.
week,
Yes.
are going to be vaccinated.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
President Joe Biden announced that by April, I think it was April 19th,
Yes.
every adult in
Yes.
America that wants a vaccine is going to be able to get it.
Absolutely. But I like Maury's your stall
No.
idea more.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Just lean
Sorry.
into it.
No.
Lean in.
Next.
Hard no, huh? Or is it hard yes?
It's a hard no. Very hard.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Kim Kardashian's a billionaire. Add
Wasn't
her
she
to the
already?
list.
No.
She was
I guess she
not.
wasn't, eh?
Kylie Jenner was the
Oh,
the
right.
billionaire.
Yeah. Kylie.
But Forbes came out with their list of the world's billionaires. Kim made the list. How many billionaires, Mocha, are there in the world according to Forbes magazine? How many billionaires are there in the world?
Like
Billions a lot of money.
25?
25. There are 2,755 billionaires in the world.
Wow.
You know that means that's 2,700 whatever $billion.
Yes, Maury, I know exactly what that means. Thank you. Oh, God. You were on such a roll with your whole lean into it thing, man. And then you should have just quit, honestly. The world's richest is still Jeff Bezos with 177 billion. 177
My
billion.
prime account just renewed, so you're welcome, Jeff.
Thank you. And then Elon Musk is on there. Bezos is number one. Elon Musk is number two with 151 billion. Bill Gates is fourth with 124. Zuckerberg, 97 billion.
Wow.
Some other names that you may recognize. George Lucas is 339th on the list with 7.4 billion.
Oh my God, he's all the way down there, and he still has seven plus billion.
Mark Cuban is 655th on the list with 4.4 billion. Spielberg, 807 on the list. Oprah is 1,174th on the list of the world's billionaires with $2.7 billion.
Wow.
They still have Trump on the list. Vince McMahon is on the list with $2.1 billion. He's at 1,517. Kanye, 1,750.
Wait, Kanye West is a billionaire?
Yeah, 1.8 billion is what they have him at. Jay-Z's on there at spot number 2,141. This is a hard list to move up, huh?
No, you know what this list is that you're reading out right now?
What's that?
This isn't billionaires. This is a list of the Illuminati.
Yeah, no, exactly. These are all the people that run the world, right?
Yeah.
This is
This is proof right here.
Yes.
The Illuminati exists.
Yes, this list is why you buy the things you do and Maury walks the way he walks. You know what's really interesting about that? I don't even know what that meant. But to me,
many things.
So many things. It meant nothing. It meant nothing. Anyway, there you go.
It meant everything.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Roger Jean Page, the Bridgerton star, it was announced that he was not going to be coming back for season 2, and everybody's like, oh my God. And then the production and everybody else involved has said, hey, listen, it was never supposed to be this way.
Yeah.
These are anthology seasons, and every season is going to be focused on one of the different kids and tell their story. So just calm your pants.
All right.
But the one thing that wasn't really articulated that well was, even though, yes, it was agreed upon that this was going to be a one and done season for him, we didn't know whether they had offered him an opportunity to come back based on the immense popularity of the show and his character. And
after the fact.
After the fact.
Yeah.
And a source close to the show tells the Hollywood Reporter that he was offered an opportunity to return.
And he said no.
In season 2 for 3 to 5 episodes, they said, at a rate of $50,000 an episode, and he said no.
I wonder why. He's got other projects on the go, maybe?
Well, he does. He just wrapped a movie with the Russo brothers for Netflix called The Gray Man with Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling. He's next going to be in the big budget Dungeons and Dragons movie with Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez. So he's got stuff going on, but 3 to 5 episodes, you could still do that. This sounds a lot like he saw the buzz around him and how popular he got from that show and wanted to capitalize immediately and not
Probably
be
ran
tied
with almost everything that was presented to him.
exactly and not be tied down to one of those shows. So so that's the question. Did they offer him a chance to come back for season 2 of Bridgerton? The answer is yes, at a rate of $50,000 an episode.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The rumor is that Russell Crowe and Chris Hemsworth are set to co-produce a sequel to Gladiator. Again, the rumor is.
Do we need a sequel?
Well, I guess Hemsworth...
Are you not entertained?
I guess Hemsworth would play the son, Maximus's son, because Maximus dies, right?
Spoiler alert!
Oh my God, it's Gladiator. The movie's 21 years old.
Still, there's people out there who haven't watched it. It's probably on their list.
No, the only people out there right now that haven't watched Gladiator, are girls, and they're never going to watch Gladiator. Gladiator's like Shawshank. Guys love those movies. Girls don't love Gladiator.
Are you not entertained?
I've never met a woman who's like, oh my God, I love Gladiator. But I have met plenty of women when I go, oh my God, I love Gladiator, and they roll their eyes.
Why? Are you not entertained?
I've met plenty of
So
those
he's going
women.
to play the kid?
I don't know. This is the story. I'm sort of not opposed to it. I like Chris Hemsworth. I loved Gladiator. It's one of my favorite movies.
Ladies out there right now rolling them eyes.
Rolling them eyes. But anyway, I could see that happening. Joaquin Phoenix was awesome in that movie.
He was.
Remember that?
Yep.
What a dirtbag he was.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What an awful person he was in that
I
film.
think I only watched that movie. Once.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You've only seen Gladiator once?
Yeah.
I've actually never met a man who's only seen Gladiator once.
Really? I watched
No.
it once, and it was on TV.
No, I've only...
Maybe like on AMC or something.
Really?
I was like, oh yeah, what's this?
I saw Gladiator 3 times in the theater.
You did?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how much I love Gladiator. We're not talking about you, Maury. I know. You never saw it. You're not one of those guys. You're not.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? No, 2 kinds of guys, though. How many times have you seen Shawshank? Oh, 1 billion, yeah. It's either Shawshank or Gladiator. Sometimes you get both. But men love those 2 movies, and women will never understand it. That's what I know.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another one coming in. 10 women who've texted who have said that they've watched and love Gladiator.
Yeah.
So they are not 11, 12,
All right.
13. I'm a 32-year-old female, absolutely love Gladiator and Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
So guess what? They were entertained!
Guess what? I don't believe you're a girl! It's a bunch of dudes. Texting in. Okay? That's all it is. It's guys. Maury, put that phone down. Don't call. I'm looking at what I can see you. I know what you're doing right now. I can watch you do this right now, you jabroni.
Hello?
Hey.
Hi. Hi, it's Ron
Turn your
Smoker. What's
radio
your
down. Don't swear.
I'm a woman. I love Gladiator.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's an amazing movie. Actually, I watched it for a whole week, I think 3 times.
Really, huh?
Damn, 3 times?
Did a guy turn you did you like watch it with your boyfriend at first?
No.
No.
I watched it by myself.
You did, huh?
But I like watching like those types of movies though.
Right.
So.
You're a weird one. You know that, right?
Okay, well, if she's aware, what's your name on the phone? Esther. Okay, thank you for listening, Esther.
Yeah.
If Esther is a weird one, dude,
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, our text line is blowing up.
Yeah, really,
With
huh?
all women who have said that they've seen Gladiator, just like you, Esther. Another one that came in now, it says, I'm a 40-year-old female, absolutely love Gladiator and Shawshank.
Oh, interesting.
Sorry, Roz, but it's not only men. So there you go.
Well, okay. Fair enough.
Don't say you don't believe. Like,
I don't.
look at all these
I don't
texts.
believe. I'll never believe that. I'll never believe
It's an awesome. It's like basically watching Game of Thrones.
that. Give me one Gladiator quote right now.
I don't know the quote.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay.
Thank you, Esther. Love you lots.
Bye.
Bye.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
LeVar Burton's still trending because...
Hold on. Can't say LeVar Burton and not play this.
Butterfly in the sky.
So the petition has been out there for LeVar Burton to host Jeopardy, and this really got kicked in the last 24 hours because I don't think people were very happy with Aaron Rodgers, especially when Aaron Rodgers said that he wanted to do it full-time and that he could manage Jeopardy and football at the same time.
Well.
And then LeVar Burton, who hosted Reading Rainbow forever, a lot of people say that he's the perfect guy to do this. And he tweeted yesterday, leaving this here in the event the powers that be are listening. And he tweeted out the link to the petition.
Change.org.
The change.org in order to have him host Jeopardy.
How many of those petitions are there out there?
There's
'Cause
been
I saw
a few.
one where the goal was only like 150,000.
Yeah.
And they were at like the last time I checked, they were at like 135 or something like that.
Let's just clear something up because I think that there may be a reason that LeVar Burton wasn't invited to be one of the guest hosts for Jeopardy. And although I agree on paper, he makes a lot of sense. He's got that personality. People like him. He's a smart guy. He has that reputation for being a smart guy, but
For
also
sure.
fun. Is that this whole thing with LeVar Burton trying to bring back Reading Rainbow really turned into sort of a disaster? Because if you remember, he started a Kickstarter years ago to bring Reading Rainbow back. He had he had an app, and then he wanted to expand on the app and everything else. And at the time, it was the most successful Kickstarter ever. He had like $6+ million for it.
Oh, yeah, because people love the guy.
And the people who owned Reading Rainbow sued him because they had a deal where they were both sort of profit sharing off certain aspects of the Reading Rainbow brand. And then he started doing things and making promises and trying to set up deals for stuff that he wasn't allowed to do. This is the way that I understand the story to go. And so in 2017, they actually sued LeVar Burton over Reading Rainbow because
Did he ever give any of that money back?
I don't see. That's the thing is I don't know.
donations?
I don't know what happened to the $6.5 million that he raised.
Huh.
It's very difficult to find out what happened to the $6.5 million he raised because at the time, PBS, they got rid of Reading Rainbow, not because Reading Rainbow was too expensive to produce or Reading Rainbow wasn't doing well. The reason they got rid of Reading Rainbow was because the people who were in charge of the educational programming realized that America had changed.
Yeah.
And it was no longer about trying to get kids interested in reading. The mandate then became, how do you get kids to even learn to read? And Reading Rainbow wasn't programming that was current with the times. And so they allowed LeVar Burton to sort of take portions of that and expand on things like apps and websites and everything else.
So I wonder if, because I always thought if a petition goes through and you make a donation, right? Or like, let's say Kickstarter.
Okay.
And then you don't get your goal or you achieve the goal, it shuts down, but then that product or that thing that's being kickstarted doesn't actually come to fruition. Everyone just gets their money back through the website.
Yeah.
Right? So like, I don't know if everyone that donated that, what was it, $6 million, $6.5 million bucks, if everyone got their money back or if LeVar Burton still has that money.
So this is it. So in 2014, he launched the Kickstarter campaign to raise money for the show's revival and brought in $6.5 million. WNED, which is the PBS station out of Buffalo, was upset at the loss of control and further alleges that its own efforts to develop a new series were undermined when LeVar Burton with the Jim Henson Company began secretly negotiating with Netflix for a new Reading Rainbow series. And in response to the allegations, LeVar Burton's company said that the Netflix discussion pertained to an original concept and not Reading Rainbow. So the Kickstarter was started to revive Reading Rainbow. He started having meetings with Netflix, and then when they accused him of fraud, PBS, he turned around and said, no, this isn't for Reading Rainbow. This is for something else.
Yeah.
So what happened to the Reading Rainbow money? That's the big question.
That nobody can answer.
Right.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So Taylor Swift released Mr. Perfectly Fine, and immediately Joe Jonas started trending because, as we know, 13 years ago, Joe Jonas and Taylor Swift were a thing, and then she famously went on Ellen all those years later and said that Joe Jonas dumped her over the phone in 25 seconds.
Ooh.
Right?
But who's counting?
Exactly. So the problem is that now she's re-recording and re-releasing all her old stuff. So she's going back to the vault. So there's a lot of things that like weren't ever released that are now getting released. And so Taylor says this, me in 2020, life is chill, writing songs based on fiction to avoid drama, feeling pretty grown up. My 2008 music from the vault in a goblin voice. Release, Mr. Perfectly Fine. so here's a little bit of what people think is Joe Jonas's track.
Takes everything in me just to get up each day, but it's wonderful to see that you're okay. Hello, Mr. Perfectly Fine. How's your heart after breaking mine? Mr. Always at the right place at the right time, baby. Hello.
Joe Jonas is like, yo, I'm married and I'm grown. I'm not that guy anymore.
Yeah, and Sophie Turner, Joe Jonas's wife, put on Instagram, it's not a bop. to which Taylor responded, forever bending the knee to the true queen of the North. So I guess everybody's cool, but you think you're out of the woods, right?
Sure.
You think you got away.
Here's the thing, though. For Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah.
There are records she could choose to not re-record if she wanted to, knowing the Twitter storm that comes after. Right. But if everyone's cool with this one, and they understand different time period and the reasons why she's re-recording these albums.
Yeah.
Everyone's grown. Everyone's fine.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Remember when Donald Trump took to the White House and he told everybody that the Obama staff left him all sorts of nasty notes in like all the drawers and the cabinets and everything else?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And people thought he was just being nuts, like it was all just made up.
A big crybaby.
Yeah, but Dave Chappelle was on Naomi Campbell's podcast. And Dave Chappelle actually not only confirmed that there were notes left, but he knows who wrote them.
No.
It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. This was like one of the last big parties the Obamas threw. And I'm not going to say these celebrities' names.
But it was a great evening.
No, there was a thing. Remember when the Trump administration moved in? They said the Obama staff left dirty notes for us in all the drawers and all the cabinets. Now, I saw this happening. I'm not going to say who did it, but it was celebrities was writing all this crazy shit and putting it all over there. And I saw them doing it, so when I saw that on the news, I laughed real hard.
Yeah, it wasn't staff. It was all the famous people at that last party.
So you now have to go back to photos from that last Obama party to see which celebrities were there.
They were all there. Everybody was there.
Like, you think Jay-Z wandered into the Oval Office, opened that drawer, and left one of his notes?
No. I think it's even worse than that. I think that he went into the kitchen and did it.
Oh,
I don't even think it was the Oval Office. I think it was like an end table in like a some sort of den somewhere where it was like months later where you're just sitting around having a coffee at the end of the day, or a Big Mac in Trump's case.
Yeah.
And he goes to open the side drawer to put the garbage in there because he's too lazy to get his fat ass up and walk. And then he opens it up and there's a nasty note from, I don't know,
Beyonce.
Reese Witherspoon.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So apparently Dale Moss and Claire Crawley are back together.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, so he posted a shot on Insta yesterday where they were like together, looking cool, taking double selfies in a mirror.
Wow.
So they're hanging out there together. I don't know whether the engagement's back on, but they are together. Hey, do you remember when they announced that Caitlin Bristow and Tayshia Adams were going to be the new co-hosts for The Bachelorette?
Yes.
Okay.
And people were happy about it.
Yeah, but they're not.
What?
And I didn't know this. So we all just assumed that Tayshia and Caitlin were announced as co-hosts because at the time, People Magazine wrote Tayshia Adams and Caitlin Bristow react to co-hosting The Bachelorette's new season.
Yeah.
And we all had assumed that this was going to be part of Chris Harrison's stepping back, doing the work.
Yeah.
And that they were going to come in and do at least a season. And we had assumed that this was going to be a Chris Harrison-free season. But that's not actually the case because ABC never actually said that Chris Harrison was not going to be hosting this current season of The Bachelorette. And I missed this completely. But back at the end of March, Caitlyn did a Q&A on social media where she was talking to fans. And one fan asked, what are you most excited for about co-hosting The Bachelorette? And Caitlyn said this, okay, so I get really confused with this title. She goes on to say, because we're not replacing anyone or the host. We're just kind of coming in as mentors to help, and we'll host a couple of dates and have some fun.
Oh, so Chris Harrison is still hosting?
No idea.
Or are they taking on the role?
We all just assumed that Chris Harrison wasn't going to be back because they announced that Caitlyn and Tayshia were going to be co-hosting. It literally says co-hosting. That's what all the stories were. But it turns out they're not co-hosts. They're just mentors. So we don't actually know.
Is that their way of saying?
She was very clear that she's not hosting this show. They're already shooting it. She was very clear that she's not hosting this show.
So they're just going to go host less, you think?
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to do?
I think it's a way of having them be a part of the show, hosting without calling them hosts.
I don't know, man. She made it very clear that they are not co-hosting the show.
I don't know. I think we're going to see them a lot more than we think.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
We've all suffered a little during COVID, eating and drinking too much and just sitting on the couch and doing nothing. But you got to listen to this. There's a woman in Massachusetts who thought that her pregnancy was nothing more than COVID weight.
What?
Yeah, and she actually, on her way to the hospital, thought that she was just passing a kidney stone, not having a baby.
She had a baby?
Yeah, listen to this.
I did feel a little like flutters, I suppose, but I just kind of thought it was gas. I didn't know what it was. I'm in the middle of the archway of the bathroom, screaming, freaking out. If you look back at it now, like you see there were signs that said, okay, missed menstrual cycle, but that was always normal for me. And yeah, the weight gain, but I just hopped on keto and I said, okay, well then maybe it's my own fault. It's the COVID-15. Even in the ambulance ride, I was like, how did this happen? Like, I mean, I know how it happened, but I mean, like, really?
Yeah, she had no idea she was pregnant. But did went full term.
But even at full term, right? Even in the later stages when the baby is moving around.
Right.
Do you not feel that? Or did she just...
I've never had one in me.
Did she feel something and think it was gas?
Maybe. She seemed
or
real...
just pressure on her bladder and had to pee.
She seemed really... She actually had the baby on the toilet.
Wow.
And everything's fine. The baby's fine. She's doing fine. But yeah, she had no idea that she thought it was COVID weight. And then I start questioning my own body. Maybe,
you're not pregnant.
You don't know that.
Well,
yeah, that's a wild story, huh?
Damn.
That's one of the crazier COVID stories I've heard.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So much like when Marvel sort of sets the stage for all their releases coming up, the Bachelor franchise has done that.
Oh, yeah?
So Katie's season is confirmed, and it will indeed be the 17th season of The Bachelorette, and that is going to debut on... Where'd it go now?
Summertime?
June.
Oh, okay.
It'll be the first 2 seasons of The Bachelorette. June 7th is when that's going to happen. As soon as that wraps, they're going to head back to Bachelor in Paradise.
They are,
which is then August 16th. And then Bachelor Michelle, her season will start after that, most likely in January, although they haven't announced it 100% yet. But that's the order. So it's going to go Katie, Bachelor in Paradise, and then Michelle Young's season. So, and then somewhere in there, we'll have Bachelor in Paradise Canada.
Probably in the fall.
Know, yeah, I don't know exactly
that's
where that's going to fall.
Wow. So they haven't announced, though, like where... I assume it's going to be at the same resort, Bachelor in Paradise, because I love Paradise.
Well... Yeah, who knows?
Who
knows? It's all about the COVID protocols, right? Because right now the U.S. is doing a better job than Mexico and Canada,
USA,
and everybody else. So I don't know where they're shooting,
Florida,
where they're going to shoot Bachelor in Paradise. So there you go. So Bachelor in Paradise is coming back, in case you're wondering.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Gaten Matazzaro.
Oh yeah.
What's his character's name? Dustin from Stranger Things?
Yes,
Is that who he is?
I can't wait for the new season.
You know, I completely forgot that this show even existed.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's been so long that it's been out of our lives.
Yeah.
They were supposed to
completely
start
forgot.
shooting season 4 right at the beginning of COVID last year.
So he was on the Tonight Show last night talking about how this season, it's like they're going for it, man.
Really?
You told me might be the scariest one.
Oh, yeah. That's the one thing that I've noticed. I was reading it and like, they're going for it this year. That's pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, good.
So I don't know if like the toddlers are going to enjoy it as much.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So here's a shocking thing. These kids are going to be so grown up by the time season 4 is released.
Yeah.
If they're only filming it now. I saw a picture of one of the kids. I guess he did like a photo shoot for like GQ or Vanity or something.
Yeah.
And he's like a grown-ass man
Yeah, he's
now.
looking like Eli Manning. He's like a grown man.
Yeah.
Huge.
They're not kids anymore.
No, it's wild.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Khloe Kardashian says that judgment has been, quote, too much to bear after the shot of her in a bikini was released without her approval. So she's speaking out after the heat that she faced for trying to remove a picture from the internet that she didn't like. And other people were talking about having their accounts suspended and being blocked from certain websites because the Kardashian machine was coming after them for reposting this picture that Khloe Kardashian didn't want out. She says, hey guys, this is me and my untouched and unfiltered body. So she did a video live where she's sort of moving around and jumping around. So just to prove that it wasn't doctored in any way, because that's what they're sort of notorious for. And she goes on to say this: the photo that was posted this week is beautiful, but as someone who has struggled with body image her whole life, when someone takes a photo of you that isn't flattering, in bad lighting, or doesn't capture your body the way it is after working out so hard to get to this point, and then shares it with the world, you should have every right to ask for it not to be shared, regardless of who you are. She goes on to say that she says the pressure and constant ridicule and judgment that she's gone through her entire life to be perfect and meet others' standards of how I should look has been too much to bear. Some people are arguing that the Kardashians themselves are the ones who set those standards.
Yep.
So even for her sort of response here and justification for wanting to get that picture taken down, people, are going after them. There are countless numbers of young women who fly to South America to mutilate themselves based on the standards that the Kardashians set. So this doesn't sort of, although you do feel for her because nobody wants a terrible picture of themselves out there. But the sort of, this is all me is falling on deaf ears for a lot of people. She went on to share examples of some of the mean things that people had reportedly said about her, like Khloe's the fat sister, Khloe's the ugly sister. This was all in her big giant post. But then even with the big giant post, it's so funny the attention span that people have for the Kardashians, because it was like 4 pages on Instagram that you would like flip through, and like of so many of the comments were just like, oh my god, it's too long. Like people don't even have time to listen to this. Like when somebody's like sort of pouring their heart out and talking about why they did, wanted to do what they did. But this was a lot of things. This was, it put the Kardashians under a microscope. It put the Kardashian machine under a microscope. It was, very in line with, this is what happens when you try and have something erased from the internet, is that you wind up just attracting more attention to it. It's called the Streisand effect, right?
And also,
you could have let it go, and we probably wouldn't have been talking about it today, because why would I? It's just it's a picture of her that maybe didn't look that great, but it wouldn't have been a story, right?
And it didn't, mission not accomplished for them, because now you're seeing that photo pop up more so than ever.
Yeah. But then in the video, like she looks great. Like I don't know, like, and I know that she, did it live, and you can say, oh my God, it's still filtered. But no, she went on live and did this, so she wouldn't be accused of filtering up. But anyway, that is 4 pages from Khloe Kardashian.
Roz and Mocha Q&A.
Ready to answer some questions?
Yes, sir.
Yo, suck beer. What's up? It's Roz and Mocha.
Hey, guys. I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Your name looks familiar because I see that you ask questions like pretty much every week.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
What's going on, dude? What's your question now that you're on the phone?
Yeah, so my question for the room is, if you guys could be any inanimate object that people use frequently, what object would you become?
Well, what would you become? You've obviously given this some thought.
Yeah, I think with everything that's happening with COVID and the lockdowns, I think I'd become my airplane. Just travel the world. Yeah.
But then people sit on you and they like.
Yeah, and then you get anti-maskers who are on there arguing and stuff and coughing all over other people. Why would you want to be an airplane?
I think it's nice being above the clouds, just cruising, having a nice view, going all over the world. So
I know, but it's so cold up there.
Yeah, it's freezing, man. Like, why not?
When you're at those super high speeds? Absolutely freezing.
I'll bring a coat.
No, but you're a plane.
Yeah. You ever see a plane with a coat?
Inanimate object, that's an interesting question. Like, I don't want to be anything that anybody could use or does use for anything gross, right?
Like jabbing something in your ear?
Yeah, like
Q-tip?
Yeah, like I don't want to be like, not that I would, but I'll give you an example, right? Like I don't want to be a spatula. I love food and everything else, but I don't want to be a spatula in case I wind up being a spatula for the guy who owns it to clean cat barf up off the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's
You know what I mean?
sick.
Like I don't want to be something that can also be used as something else.
I would
don't-
want to be like something that gets used maybe once in a while.
Yeah.
Like a pen,
yeah.
right?
Sure.
I don't think a lot of people
chew pens.
Yeah,
use
that's
pens.
true. They
I
stick
know,
them
but
in their
don't-
ear. They
but-
scratch their butt with them.
But they don't use them all the time.
No.
Right? So I would want to be some sort of writing utensil.
Right. But who knows? Like, you could wind up being the pen of a real racist. And all he does is just like write really racist things to people.
What about a
with
ruler?
that pen?
What about a ruler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you might have to hit a kid.
Oh. Who owns that ruler? My dad?
Yeah.
Okay, what about what about a tape measure? What about a tape measure?
Sure. Yeah, but then he may measure, other stuff, you know?
Oh, right, true.
Yeah.
Damn. You can't do anything,
No.
huh?
I'll tell you what. Okay, can we just put something on here before? Because when we start talking about what sort of inanimate objects we would want to be, can I at least say, because it's very difficult for me, can I at least say that I don't want to be the inanimate object that is owned by any boy between the ages of like 11 and 17?
Yes, you can.
Okay, cool.
What about a steering wheel?
A steering wheel? No, I would get no enjoyment. I'd spin around and around like that. I can't do that. I get too dizzy.
But no one's going to do anything gross with it.
I know, but I get to, you pick your nose and then you put it back on the wheel and stuff. People are eating between their legs and then just like rubbing it. No, it's not good, a steering wheel.
That's a good question.
Maury.
A mirror.
A mirror.
Nobody does anything bad, and I get to see everything you do.
Interesting.
It's such a creeper.
And nobody ever wants to break a mirror, too, right?
No, I'll give you 7 years of bad luck.
They try and protect mirrors. So you want to be a mirror, basically, because
It's
that's
the
where
safest thing.
That's where people go and they stand naked in front of it, right?
Yeah, but
And
they're
they
not going
just
to
examine themselves.
But they won't do anything to me with it.
Okay. Well, let me put it this way, Maury. You're a mirror, okay? But you're the kind of mirror that a dentist uses.
Okay.
So the only thing you see are the nasty insides of people's
But all
mouths.
I have to do is watch. The teeth aren't coming at me.
Right.
It doesn't matter, but when they stick that tiny little mirror, it's like pushing up against the inside of your cheek.
You're in the
Sometimes it
inside
touches
of
your,
somebody's
your
mouth.
gums.
Oh, do you mean that little thing?
Yes.
Yeah, the little
No,
mirror.
I'm picking a mirror in someone's bathroom.
No. But a mirror is a mirror. You say a mirror. You don't get to choose where the mirror is. Just like if Mocha says a tape measure, it's not going into the hands of Scott McGilvery. This is going to go in the hands of a 14-year-old who's going to
but a
measure
tape
his wiener
measure
in
is
his bedroom.
Sure, but a tape measure is a tape measure. I didn't name the name of that utensil.
Doesn't matter.
I just said
A mirror. Let's say a mirror is a mirror.
Sure.
And you don't get to pick which kind of mirror you are. Just like if you said you wanted to be reincarnated as a dog,
Right.
you wouldn't get to choose which kind of dog. You would just say a dog.
What about I could be an air freshener? I always smell good.
Yeah, but then you run out and they get thrown in the garbage.
True.
Right? It's tough. Mirror's not a bad one, though, if you get a good mirror. Like, Maury, what would be the best mirror that you could ever imagine being?
I guess anyone's rich bathroom, like a mansion, kind of like Drake's.
But
place.
what if they look awful, though? Like, what if you're not what if you don't find them physically appealing?
Oh, okay. I'm going to be a mirror.
Yeah.
Inside the men's change room at Barry's Boot Camp.
Okay. Barry's Boot Camp is what again?
It's where I go and work out.
Right.
Used to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Maury would be a mirror in a gym bathroom. Mocha, you would be what?
I'm still picking like a pen, like a writing utensil.
Pen. Okay.
Yeah.
Regardless, it winds up in the hand of a racist, right?
No, I don't want to contribute to that.
Okay.
I can't contribute to that. What about a rolling pin?
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Not
sure.
much you can do with it.
No. No, you can
People
be.
hit rats with rolling pins.
Yeah, well, yeah, in children's books they do.
Yeah, and it doesn't get used a lot.
No.
And it's designed for like something specific.
Right.
So I'm going to say rolling pin.
You're going to say rolling
What about
pin.
just like a lamp?
But that's what kind of life
Because
is
then
that?
everybody's turning you on.
No, you wind up in a garage sale and then
totally.
and some racist buys you and he uses it to write notes with Mocha's pen. Like all this. You know what I mean? Like you never know. It's so hard to tell.
That's a great question. Suck Beer, thank you so much. Between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
Oh, that's a hard one. My brain one says Mocha, but my heart one says Ross, so I'm going to go with Ross.
Yeah. By the way, before we started getting into all the racist stuff, I was legitimately going to say a bed sheet. And then I realized how horribly wrong that could also go.
Can I add one more?
Sure.
A fireman's pole.
A fireman's pole. You basically already are a fireman's pole, Maureen.
Thanks, Suck Beer.
Thank you guys. Later,
dude. Denzel asks, what was the last thing you bought that severely disappointed you?
Oh, wow.
Dan Maury?
Well, I was going to say the last meal I had on Uber Eats.
What was wrong with it?
The taste, it was just cold and the taste wasn't that good.
No?
It was very spicy.
How far off do you think that it was?
Off from what?
Like from where you had thought it was going to be. Like how much of a disappointment was it?
A very big disappointment.
Really?
I didn't finish it. Yeah.
No?
And I finish everything.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Good question.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
Go.
I spent almost $200 or a little bit more than $200 on a tripod. And when I got it, it was a little heavier than I thought.
Yeah.
And the top of the tripod, like for you to connect your camera,
Yeah.
you couldn't like just connect because on the bottom of cameras there are the little hole for you to just screw in,
thing in, yeah.
right into the tripod.
Yeah.
So this tripod didn't have like a proper connection for you to screw on your camera. You needed an adapter,
Oh.
right? And luckily, I have all these tiny little screws, these tiny little adapters, different sizes, where I was able to maneuver it
Oh,
to
that
be able to
sucks.
do that, right?
Yeah.
But in order for me to use this tripod the way I was hoping to, and maybe it's my fault because I didn't read the description, I didn't read everything on it. I have to, in order for me to use my camera, I have to add all these other little things.
Nah.
And then there's another fix for that where you have to buy an additional attachment. However, this additional attachment is like $200 and something, like $239.
No. Throw it away.
Right?
No, too much.
So that is definitely
that's disappointing.
the
Yes,
last
Maury.
thing.
Ooh. Ooh.
Go ahead, Devin Maury.
Okay, so I bought for when I bathe our dog.
Yeah.
These little rubber duckies to go in the bath with him. And on Amazon, it was supposed to be like a bag of 10 of them. And when they arrived, they were the size of a pencil eraser.
Yep.
So he would just like want to eat them.
But like I didn't know sizing.
Super tiny.
Yeah.
Super tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. We actually have one of those stories as well. We tried to buy we bought a bag of, I think like 200 rubber duckies because I wanted to fill the pool with them.
Yeah.
And when we got them, they were the size of a penny.
Oh no.
Yeah, like the bag itself is only the size of like a regular size Ziploc bag.
Oh, no.
And there's 200 in there. Yeah.
Why don't they just put pictures on Amazon and say actual size? Like, don't give me measurements. Just
well,
give me
because
a
what if you're
picture.
using a bigger computer?
No, but
Right? Like put a penis next to it for scale, right?
fair.
Okay, Kathy says here, what if Roz was Mocha and Mocha was Roz?
Okay.
Name one of the things you would change and one of the things you won't change. So if I were you, I think the thing that I would change would have to be... Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I have two things.
Okay. Two.
Yeah.
Come
I have
on,
two
boo.
things.
That
Two
hurts.
things. Okay. I would change the amount of time spent sitting on the toilet.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
And I would also change the way you shower.
Oh, no.
The way you
that-
wash your body.
Come
You're
on.
aware that if he's you, he's just going to sit on the toilet more too.
That's
Yeah.
that's one of the things you could do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So those
Okay,
are the two things I would
interesting.
change.
Interesting.
And something I wouldn't change anything else. Anything else about you.
What would I change about you? Like things that I could, like if I was in your body for a day, like something like a part of your life that I could alter, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I might do?
What?
Just because I've always no, but it would all depend on the timing. Like I would sort of like some days when I look at you, right? I wonder what you would look like with just like a thick mustache.
Oh no!
Right?
So shave everything off?
Yeah, I might shave your beard because you could grow that back in a week, right?
Yeah.
So I might shave your beard just to see how you look in a thick mustache. I might try and do something like that. I think that might be cool. Or God, what else would I do? You dress fine. You always smell good. There's really nothing. I don't think I want to disrupt your home life at all. That would be incredibly mean, right?
Like, you're not going to go home and pick a fight with my wife.
Or start spoiling things for your kid, right? Like I'm not. I'm not going to do that, but I think that I'm just wondering if I could introduce you to something that I like, but you really don't like. Like I'm wondering if there's like a show or a food or something that I
know,
like
but we
that
like,
you
a
don't. We
lot of
like
the
a lot
same
of the same
foods.
stuff. Yeah. No, you're right. Because I would give you a mustache. I think that would be my thing because I've always
Okay.
wanted to know what you look like with a big, thick mustache.
Kara says here, did your parents pass down any of their personality traits to you that you wish they hadn't? Did you only realize it when you grew up or had a family? For example, I get my irrational anxiety from my mom and my stubbornness and clumsiness from my dad. I would like to give it all back to them.
I don't know any sort of like traits like that, but the one thing that I did realize way later in life is that my brother and I both burp like my dad.
Oh, yeah, I think you've said that before.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the weird things where I will still, I rarely think about my dad. Like I don't sit around thinking about him and stuff like that. But every now and then I'll hear from like the other side of the house kind of thing, or if my brother's in the hallway, I'll hear him burp and I get chills when I hear him burp because he burps just like my dad does. Yeah, it's crazy.
Dan Maury?
Cheapness.
Yes, 100% Maury. Cheapness.
And knowledge of 80s music.
You got that from your dad?
Yeah, it's
And not just from the 80s?
When I'm in the pool and a song comes on, we'll both look at each other and be like, the Go-Go's.
How often are you sitting around in a pool listening to the Go-Go's?
Like he'll have the radio on or something, or like some music station on, and we just keep naming the songs to each other.
Right.
And Matthew just giggles.
Right. Okay, so why don't we just say your love of music? Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Because your dad was like, he liked music and stuff like that. My dad
And
didn't.
cheapness and the ability to tell stories.
Well, there's some evidence that says otherwise.
Yeah.
But
Like
maybe
all of the
maybe
evidence.
your dad isn't a fantastic storyteller.
No, he talks forever.
Okay. So
So that's what you get from your dad.
Yes. Who turned you on to radio? How did you want to start doing radio? Because you started doing this stuff real young.
Oh, I have somewhere a cassette of me imitating the people on the radio. Like, it's just something I've always loved.
Yeah.
Like, ever since I was like 5.
Yeah. And that's what you wanted to do,
Because
right?
he had a radio on all the time.
So you
I
just fell
thought
in
it was
love with
fascinating.
you fell in
and I
love with
just loved
DJs
it.
and stuff like that. Yeah. Interesting.
What did I get from my folks? Stubbornness from my mom.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sometimes I am clumsy. And that's my dad. And for as much as I try to remember things, like I would say I'm pretty good at remembering a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things like my short-term memory.
Oh.
I get that from my dad. Like Jenna will say to me, on your way to the garage to take out the recycling, can you grab me a whatever? And I will be like, yeah, no problem. And 5 seconds come back without that thing that she asked me to get.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
And that is exactly my dad.
Yes.
Exact.
Can I say my
100%.
belly?
Yeah. You're yeah, sure, I guess. Okay. Body type.
Sure.
Yeah. Did you get your mom's body or your dad's body, Mocha?
I would say maybe my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You?
My mom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. My brother got my dad's body.
Mohawk asks, would you rather have to... oh, man, God, this is so good. Would you rather have to spend the whole winter only wearing a Speedo or spend the whole summer only wearing the Chewbacca costume?
I feel like Speedo's the easy answer.
Yeah, but Speedo's on those days where
But like
it's
you're not allowed
freezing.
to wear a coat, right?
No, you can't.
Well, but I guess the question is, would you rather be freezing or insanely hot?
Yeah. So for me, I think Speedo, because during the wintertime, I'm spending most of my days and night indoors anyway. It's very rare that I'm outside. Oh, but then I got to shovel the snow in a Speedo and use a snowblower in a Speedo.
And coldness,
and also
if I can say,
and also Christmas pictures.
Oh, yeah.
would be awesome.
Oh, but then, like, come on, man, for 4 months
Yeah, but
of
coldness.
just sweating in a Chewbacca costume?
Wouldn't be good.
Coldness causes shrinkage.
I say so. Geez, this is really tough because I don't like being cold. I hate being cold, like that kind of cold.
Yeah.
But also, overheating in the summer is problematic because you could die, right? Like there's just no
Well,
point.
you could die from hypothermia.
But I think that just trying to like live a life, like I think it's more likely that Catherine will still want to go to bed with me at night and fool around if I'm wearing a Speedo in the winter as opposed to a guy wearing a Chewbacca costume all summer. Who wants to sleep with that?
Yeah.
Well, I
Right?
assume you can take the costume off at nighttime and shower and go to bed.
Yeah, but even still, she's got to look at me all day with a Chewbacca costume on,
I will
with
say
the
this-
with the helm, with the like a full fur face thing.
Everything. Full
no
for
one,
everything.
If you're wearing the Chewbacca thing, no one will know it's you. So there's that. Plus, everyone's going to want to take pictures with you.
Sure, but you can be so hot.
Yeah, so hot
You can
all
be
the time,
so hot,
dude. All
so
the-
hot.
Can't
Also,
you just sit in the shade?
also, you would be a little tiny Chewbacca.
Yeah, you look like Ewok.
Yeah, you'd be Ewok. Yeah.
But you,
You
can
know
sit
what?
in the shade.
I gotta go Speedo.
Yeah, I'm still
I have to go
sticking with
Speedo.
Speedo.
I'm not covering my face. Come on.
I'm still I'm still saying Speedo because you can control where indoors you are.
Right, yeah.
And for what period of time.
I don't want to try any corn on the cob in a Chewbacca mask.
Yeah. I know.
It's not good.
I know.
No.
Or having a nice big dirty hamburger in
No.
the summertime next to the pool.
No.
Right?
No.
In a Chewbacca costume?
No.
No. Absolutely not.
Like potato leek soup. That's going to look gross.
Plus, if you go swimming, a heavy wet costume.
Who wants to wear that in the
You're,
pool?
you're drowning. You're not getting out of the pool.
No. Yeah.
Greg Anthony has a 3 questions specifically for Dammit Maury.
Okay.
You ready? Number 1, Dammit Maury. Would you say your dog Andy humps your husband, Dammit Matthew, more than you do?
Yes. Well, because
Number
my husband's
2.
on the floor more often. On all fours.
Number 2, do you still sleep on the couch?
No.
Number 3, at what point did you realize that the dog has replaced you?
5 minutes in. But I'm okay with it now.
You liked being third, right?
I was lying on the couch yesterday, and Matthew was dealing with something with Andy, like putting some treats in his toy or something like that, and seeing the two of them from behind. They look like a father and son just sitting on the dock.
Do you find that you like the dynamic of Matthew loving the dog so much because it takes a little bit of the heat off you to sort of provide that kind of support, that he gets something from the dog?
Yeah, but then there are times where I'm in the bedroom reading and I hear distantly from the office Matthew going, "I love you, Andy. You're the best thing that's happened." And I angrily turn the page.
Oh,
right,
no!
right. Yeah.
Does he ever, like, have you ever said to him, like, I can hear you?
Yeah, and he's like, "Good, I said it for you to hear me."
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's a healthy relationship, really.
How long ago were you, I think we've asked this question before. How long ago were you allowed to sleep in the bed again after being
once
sent
it
to the
was
couch?
fine. Once Andy wasn't peeing inside, and once we realized that he could sleep on the bed or
Because
on the
that,
floor and be
that
okay.
dog was ruining your marriage, right?
Because he was ruining the hardwood. Yeah.
No, he was ruining your marriage. Worse, he was ruining the floors.
Adam asks here, question for Roz
Yes, sir.
specifically. Do you garden with the ladies in your life? I want to start gardening. I want to start getting my son planting. He loves Plants vs. Zombies, the video game. So I thought it would be nice to plant snapdragons.
Yeah, I do. I do this sort of, when it comes to gardening, I will do the heavy lifting, right?
Yeah.
So I built the garden. I'll go and pick everything up. I'll move, 2 tons of dirt. I'll do all that stuff. When it comes to the actual aesthetics and planting and where to put things, that's a Catherine and Roxy thing. right? I'm not excluded from it, but that's just that's their thing. That's the thing that they do as like a mom and a daughter. They go and they make the hand-painted little signs of where, and then they replant them every year of what's what in the garden and all of that stuff. So I stay out of it, like, because I don't want to micromanage Catherine in anything that she's doing, where she wants to put stuff, give my opinion on where I think things will grow or anything like that. I just let her do her thing, right? Let her do her thing, and then I do my thing in the yard, and my stuff grows and her stuff dies. No, I'm kidding.
And in the back of your mind, you're like, told you so.
No, but I will tell you this: anybody who does garden, the one thing that you have to do when you garden is you have to, like, I built two. So I built one garden that is in a big giant like L shape, right? And then another garden that is a square box that sort of fits in that middle, like the bottom part of that L shape, and you can walk in between them.
Okay,
because you need a separate garden for herbs.
Okay.
Because herbs literally like explode. And an herb garden will take over everything else you have.
Yeah.
And if you live anywhere where there's like bunnies or chipmunks, or in our place, turkeys and all this other stuff, you have to build some sort of cover for it. Like you have to build some sort of chicken wire cover that opens and closes, because you'll just come back at the end of the day and your garden will look beautiful and green, but everything will have been eaten. Like everything gets eaten. Everything gets eaten by the bunnies. They're awful. They're so terrible.
Cruz is only now showing interest in that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
in
gardening and stuff?
Yeah, my sister-in-law, I think it was my sister-in-law, gave him this little pot. It's a metal pot, and it came with these two or three, like they look like thick dirt tablets.
Yeah, you put them in paper cups.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you just fill the container, the little tin with, it was like 2 1/4 cups of water, and then it dissolves, and you just take a spoon and break it up, and it turns into like dirt, and it came with like 2 little packs of seeds. And so we did that the other day, and we have it by the windowsill, and he'll water it every single day, but just watching it grow and watching his fascination. So I'm going to get to a point where I will end up building one of those.
It's like a garden bed.
One of those little garden beds, yeah.
Beans are great for that, for kids, because beans grow like, you can almost watch that thing grow like if you sit and stare at it.
Yeah.
That's how fast they grow.
Yeah,
It'll grow from like a nubbin, right, Maury? It'll grow from like a nubbin to like, 13, 14 inches in like 24 hours.
I never, living in an apartment, I never had to do the gardening thing.
Why not? You can just put them on the windowsill.
No, we lived, like, there was no direct sun or anything. So with my papa, instead, we did bug collecting.
You should get one of those lights. We have one of those lights. We have one of those lights, but it's just a bulb. Like, and we just put it in a regular lamp, like a desk lamp, and then, because all winter we have stuff that dies.
I did the whole hydroponic thing.
But not a hydroponic thing. You can just literally put, like, beautiful plants and flowers everywhere, and then you just stick them in a corner.
I can't change my past now.
Well, true that.
No, is Matthew into that stuff at all? No, right?
No.
But you have a balcony.
No, we have no light.
Light is light, though. It doesn't need to be direct sunlight.
Yeah, like we can't grow anything inside. Everything dies because it's just darkness.
Yeah.
Do you ever use your balcony, or is it just empty?
It's empty.
Like, you never, like, stand out there?
No.
You have, like, no space to put, like, a plant in the corner?
Nothing.
Or, like, 2 chairs for
Never
you guys
been
to
out
just
there.
sit there?
No,
At all?
and I often complain. I could have used that space elsewhere.
Huh, interesting. Never use it. Do you have a chair or stool out there or anything like that? Nothing.
It's empty.
You never
What
just
if I
like
could
go
rent
out.
it out?
You never
But
just like go out and smoke a cigar and like have a drink or anything
If I
like
was
that.
single, yes.
Yes.
Wow. You were single. Every week you will find us on Instagram at Kiss925. Ask Roz and Mocha. Feel free just to ask your questions, and we'll go through them on future episodes. This has been the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.